What? Where's Paul? Where's Paul? I don't know. It's me today. Guess what? Wednesday wrap up. That's what's up. Hello, everybody. I'm Angel, A for Amazing. And we have a special guest that's joining us tonight. It's very exciting. We have Marvin Wynn. He's gonna go over his creation and we're gonna dive deep and get to know Marvin and his universe.
Hey, how's it going? It's a
All
beautiful day here in
right.
Comicsburgh, not Pittsburgh. It's Comicsburgh.
Comicsburgh, that's right.
They officially changed it to Comicsburg. When you come into the city, it says Comicsburg on Pittsburgh. So
Does it though? Does it?
I can dream, right? I can pretend.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's your world. It's your world right now. So we just going with the flow, right? All right. So it's The Edge is your first comic, is that right?
It is actually the only comic book I've ever written or created. I like you have ideas that come into the head, and you're thinking about like doing something different, and it all just comes back to the edge. Like I've tried to write other stories, and they all just fit right into the edge. So it's the edge. That's the thing.
Okay. The Edge. Okay. So where did the inspiration for this come from? Tell us that origin story about this comic.
Sure. So, as anyone who is not familiar or have read the book before or is new to it, uh, GI Joe, X Men in the '90s was my influence for this book. Along with that, with when Jim Lee was doing Wildcats, so all the Wildcats, Wildstorm, and things like that was the kickoff for the story. And for those who don't know, the Edge is a drug in the book that can give people special powers, but then can drive them insane or kill them. So the
Oh,
more you use the powers, the closer they are to that extreme.
oh wow. Okay. Okay. So I did read a lot of this graphic novel and I noticed you have this trio.
Hmm.
Tell us about this core trio in your universe here.
So the my Trinity, similar to the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, or in Marvel, Captain America, Thor, and Black Widow, is Blaine, Mystic, and Interim. So I mean, it kind of happenstance with some of these characters where they seem to be the ones that I'm more in tune with, and the ones that step out the most. And Mystic is the team lead. He's in the middle there, and his abilities are so those two swords. He can generate energy through them, so he can fire energy through them. He can hold the energy in it and make them stronger than any other weapon on the planet. Blaine's ability is similar to the Invisible Woman. He can create barriers for protection, but we kind of play it up so that there's no oxygen within those barriers. So eventually he has to drop those barriers down. So, and it
Okay.
also doesn't have insulation. So if he's somewhere it's hot, it's hotter inside the barrier. If it's cold, it's colder. Interim's
Oh, okay.
ability is that she can open portals, would allow her to see a few seconds into the future and use those for transportation. So they kind of like a step portal where they, as long as she has seen where they're going, she can open a portal there and use it for transportation. The built-in weakness to that one is that she's been opening these portals since she was very young, and some of them she hasn't closed and can't close. They're too powerful now, so it starts to affect time a little bit in the areas that those things are still open.
Oh, okay. So a lot of people always have ideas. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I wish, I wish, I wish. But you had an idea and your idea is on the shelves. It's
Yes,
ready to go.
yes.
What was that story? How did you get from idea to now this is a tangible product people can get?
So we do have a process like that we do. We call it script to store. And whenever we do panels at Comic Cons, we talk about that. And we're going to try to take that into schools pretty soon. So the process is, and it's always a lot more complicated than you think when you're making something or anything. Like you're making a movie, you're making a book, you're making a comic, you're making a video game. It always seems like it's step, 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 and done. So generally, you start with an outline or a plot, an idea of where you want the story to go. Once you have that plot and outline, you slot the characters into that story. A lot of people try to do characters first. I try to do story first. I want the story to tell the characters what they're doing, and then the characters to tell me what they're doing. So once you have that outline in place, then you start the script. So for a comic book, you're breaking it down by panels and pages. So you're doing page one, panel one, page one, panel two, and then you're giving a description to the artist telling them what happens in each one of those panels. Once you moved on from there, then you do dialogue. So, and one of the things that you always run into is that sometimes you overwrite for a page and you get those pages back from your artist. And you're like, oh, the dialogue I wrote is not going to fit. So then you have to edit the dialogue again. You send that to your letterer, and then sometimes he comes back and says, it's not working, man. You have too much on the screen. It's covering up some art. It's doing this, it's doing that. So then
right.
you're continuously going back and forth doing edits on the book. And I think this is what the time consuming process of it is that once you've got all these things in place, you're still doing edits up in the colors. Even when you do colors, you may have to do some edits on it because in some instances, the colorist doesn't highlight something that you want to highlight on the page. So
Right.
in this page as an example, with those portals that she's opening, she can actually throw fists and punches through them. And what the artist came up with is that the panels are moving in the direction that she's hitting these guys. I didn't write that in the script.
Oh,
No,
okay.
He came up with that on his own. So
that's cool though.
It's sometimes it's good to have someone you're in tune with that can actually space out what you're writing and add some more elements to it, because it's like having two cameramen on a movie and you're both pointing cameras in a different place, and then when you go to edit you go, yours is better, we're going to go with you
Right.
and forget what I wrote. Don't just ignore it.
So it's like a mini think tank.
Yes, exactly. And I've been working with my artist Mark. And he's from the Philippines. I've been working with him since 2012-ish.
Oh,
so
that's a long time. Okay.
Yes, we've been working together for over 12 years, and like we're in tune. And I can give him like the littlest bit of information, and he comes up with this kind of stuff. So once you've got everything set up, you've got your digital files ready to go. You're sending them off to the printer. So depending on volume of books, you're waiting a couple weeks, a couple months to get that package back. And I've gotten packages from the printer at least 100 times. And it's still one of the greatest feelings in the world to open that box and see something in there that you created. You can pick it up, you can touch it, and it's tangible, and it's something that you did. The blood, sweat, and tears that went into it, and everything else that goes into creating a comic book. So from there, now you're doing distribution. So you're either doing direct stores, you're doing conventions. You're trying to find a way to get that into someone else's hands to say that I did this. So as you know, Diamond is the biggest distributor right now still, even though Luna and Penguin are in the space, but they're still number one. Even though they've lost some thunder along the way, but they're still the biggest. So you're pitching to them then. So you're pitching to Diamond on the viability of the book. So you're kind of writing up a summary or a marketing plan saying, what makes my book stand out on the shelf that also includes X-Men, Avengers, Justice League, Batman, Superman, and thousands of other books. Like if anyone who's been in a comic shop and you see the wall, and the wall stretches all the way around the shops in most cases, and you're trying to kind of stand out.
Yeah, that's right.
And if anyone has seen the Diamond catalog, it's a telephone book of books.
It is.
Yes, thousands of pages of books. So what I ended up doing was I called like 500 stores. There are probably a little over 2,000 comic shops left in North America. I called about 500 of them, and most of the feedback was, I'm glad you called, because I would have just went past that page in the book and wouldn't have even paid attention to it if you wouldn't have called me and let me know that your book existed. That was with the first issue. And from that grouping, I made a whole list of indie friendly stores that I share with other indie creators for them to go and contact these stores and say, hey, our books are here, we exist, give us a shot. You never know what things are going to catch on or what things people are going to like.
Right.
What people have seen over the years is people walking away from a lot of the Marvel and DC books, and they want something new and want something different. They want something that's not 600 or 1,000 books in, where I don't have to go back to 1960 to find out what happened with that character when he was first invented. This is
Right.
round zero. We're never going to stop printing issue one. We'll turn it into a trade and make it a little easier to digest it, but we're never going to stop printing those books. It's never going to go out of stock. It's always going to be available either through a comic shop. We put books in pizza shops, and we have an online store, so you can hit up our online store and grab books from there too.
Mr. Producer, can you pull up that online website so we can take a look? Because I was looking through it and I
Mhm.
thought it was pretty unique because, being in this industry, been a collector for 30 years and some
Mhm.
change. Not trying to give away my age, but whatever. I see a lot of platforms. Like,
Yeah.
it gets monotonous, but yours was uniquely designed
Mhm.
in where if someone was gravitating to a particular character, you can actually go to that character's mock-up. And I love that idea.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, People fall in love with particular characters as
Mhm.
they're reading a book. And sometimes when people are, or publishers or creators are putting together a website, it's about just the product, but
Mhm.
this individualizes the detail and background of each character just in case somebody wanted to know a little more than what was in the story. So I love this. um
Right, and I mean it's
yeah
still
th-
in the build phase because
yeah.
now we're doing cards. So I actually had to throw some things up on there because I was doing QR codes for the cards. So I needed a link
Mm,
for the QR code. So some of the villains aren't finished yet, but um,
yeah.
in the story, and it like really not confuses me, but it's funny is that the Revenant character is somehow everyone's favorite character, and I don't know why. And this guy's a freaking jerk. Uh,
Well,
and
that's why.
but I think
You
one
answered
of
the
one of the
question.
things I was told is that and then his power is that if he bleeds, he duplicates. So there could be an infinite number of this guy running around causing havoc. And someone told me that the way that I wrote the character is that they have a newfound respect for Multiple Man from the X-Men.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah, I can see
and,
that. Yep.
and I said that's cool and all, but why, like I try to talk to people about like why do you like this guy? He doesn't care about anyone but himself. Like he'll be on a team with people and he'll screw them over, like just to get what he wants out of whatever situation this is. Like oh, I just feel like doing something wrong, so I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, but that's the draw because in real life, right? You have to conform, you have to do
Right,
things a certain way, you gotta be the good guy.
right,
In comic books, you can be anything,
right.
and when there's a character that speaks to the unbiased, no
Unfiltered.
rules. We're just no filter, the F you all day long kind of attitude is like, yeah, finally. Like you can see it. It's the visualization
Mhm.
of what you wish. So
Right,
yeah, he's gonna have his own fan base. He's gonna
right,
have an audience.
right. And they love him, and it's one of the reasons why I take him off the board. I had to take them off the board. It's one of those things because whenever a character gets popular in other comics,
Yeah,
they just show them they're everywhere. Like if you remember back in the '90s, like you couldn't pick up a book and not see Wolverine in it. Like every month,
exactly.
Wolverine's
That's
in eight
now.
different books. It's like
That's right now with the
yeah, you
Deadpool
get
movie. That's
right,
Wolverine's everywhere right now.
and to me, I got tired of it. I got like eventually. I started liking Gambit more than I like Wolverine back then. It was like, all
Yep,
right,
I
give me
can
more
feel it.
Gambit than Wolverine because I'm
Yep.
tired of looking, I'm tired of seeing this guy in every book. So after issue 4, we kind of push him to the side, and we bring in our new villains, the Reign. So it's kind of a double meaning because their leader is called Chaos. So the storyline is called Reign of Chaos.
Okay.
So that's the one of the ones that says so. Chaos is kind of our a little off character. He's infected by the Edge. That's why his body is changing like that. So he uses his powers. He doesn't care. He
Right.
thinks that he's in that position where I would consider him like our Magneto type character, where he feels like his people are being or going to be kind of attacked. So
Oh,
all
okay.
these people with
Yeah.
superpowers, he wants to kind of bring them under his wing and protect them. But the means that he does it isn't going to work out for him because it's more of that in your face militant style that's only going to make people more subjective to want to take these people out.
Right. Oh, okay. That's what's up. So I noticed, and in my research, because I like to
Mhm.
research, the Edge has been around since 2015, or was it older than that?
We officially started working on this in 2012, but the book is way older than that. I started working on this back in possibly '09,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
I will tell anyone who is creating something to acknowledge the fact that the first thing that you create is going to be trash.
No.
Complete and total, what in the world was I thinking when I wrote this? And I feel like that a lot of the stuff that I was doing back then was kind of infected by things that I was watching and seeing. It was too broad. There was too much going on. There were too many characters. It didn't make sense.
I
I was
see.
kind of creating characters just to create a character. Um,
Okay.
right? It was like, oh, I got an idea for a power. Here's a character, and it wasn't good. And I will admit that. And one of these days, I'm going to get my old notebooks and I'm going to publish the stuff that I did back then, and people are going to see that transition from
Right.
someone who didn't know a world of what they were doing and to someone who knows what they're doing and can tell a story. And like I said, that just acknowledge it because it's going to happen to everybody who does something. The first thing you do is not going to be good at all. And
Yeah.
I just say that not to get discouraged. That like one of the things that we always say is that it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And
Absolutely.
like throughout my comic career, I've been knocked down continuously. And
Right. Yes.
said that's one of the things is the statement of the getting back up and trying it again. And if you do that, you never know what you can accomplish.
Exactly. And I mean that's the that's the real success
Mhm.
is the getting back up.
Yes.
Um a lot of people look at the final product and they're like, wow, that's the but the success is the getting back up. So you're
Hmm.
absolutely right about that. I also saw that in recent times, in the last couple of years, um, it's Comicsburgh is what is that? Can you elaborate on what
Yeah,
is that?
sure. So Comicsburgh is a collective of creators here in Pittsburgh. It was originally established for us to kind of stave off the cost of going to conventions. As anyone who has done a convention knows that the price of admission is very high. So you've got travel, you've got
I
food, you've
know.
got lodging, you've got table costs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, of costs. And the four of us being able, well, four of us and then our adjacent, because we've got a few adjacent people that are Comicsburgh, but they're
Yeah,
Comicsburgh adjacent. So um, going to these conventions and to be able to split costs on these things is helps you make a profit. I think that as a creator, one of the more discouraging things you can have is to spend four or $500 on a table at a show and only make $200.
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
happened. I've
yeah,
seen it. It
yes,
it that's that hurts. It
yeah.
hurts to the core.
You know,
It's like
it's
what?
painful. And as a creator, where you're continuously taking a loss, that's discouraging for you. And a lot of people have given up because they found that they can't make a profit going to these shows. The cost of everything is going up, including the cost of the tables at the show. And then even if you're doing like Artist Alley and it's a 6 foot table,
Right.
you're spending at least $100, $150, depending on the size of the show. And one of the things that you find is no matter how much product you have on the table, it's hard to move it because people are hustling past the table to get to the famous creators or the back issues of books. So you have to be able to talk to people, and some people have that little that hitch in their giddy up on not being able to talk to a customer when they come past their table.
Right. And then it becomes a perfected skill because
Yes.
I'm at conventions too, and
Hmm.
it's a tough, tight competition. So you got Artist Alley, or if you big boy at the retail space,
Yes.
it's people are have their list because I,
Hmm.
as a shopper, when I'm on the shopper side, I have my
Right.
list and I'm like tunnel vision.
Right.
But it's the good ones that get me out of that tunnel vision, and it's like, oh well, let me see
Right.
because now you did something here that I wasn't expecting. So
Right.
I
And that
understand that.
and that's what we're trying to do with Comicsburgh. And this is our shared universe kind of banner. So this is what the banner that we have at shows. So we've got a Beowulf book. So it's the legendary hero reborn in modern times, a 30-something slacker. So he has to learn how to be that hero to fight the
Oh,
dragons to
okay.
come back. Yeah. So then under there, that's Memoirs of the Morbid. That's a EC or Tales from the Crypt type anthology book. There's
Oh, cool.
I think there's 2 volumes of that. Going back up to the top, Theme of Thieves is a time travel book. Like people are disappearing and they're going through time trying to figure out what's happening. And
Yeah.
Herrenberg is not only a comic book, but it is a live action video series. It's all female superheroes set here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, we're trying to hit all the nuances when it comes with comics and try to give everyone something they could enjoy coming from Comicsburgh. So we've got the horror, we've got fantasy, we've got sci-fi, we've got superheroes, we've got thrillers and all that stuff in there.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
Um,
helps us at cons. Like we can give everyone the whole gamut of something.
yes, yes. You do have it every all the basic genres people would look for. So you had mentioned that some of the project was to be in schools. Is that what you
Yes.
said? Okay,
Yes.
can you
So
tell us a little bit about that? Because
all right.
that's
So
interesting.
we got kind of inspired. Earlier this year, we went to a comic convention in Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and the show was run at the Phillipsburg High School, run by the Comics Club and their teacher. And um, so when we got back, I started contacting a few people and found out that the person who is the general manager of the biggest comic chain in the city, New Dimension Comics, his frat brother is the guy who runs Steam for the city of Pittsburgh for the schools.
Okay.
So it
All
used to be
right.
STEM, now it's Steam because they added arts. And I ended up talking with him, and he said, well, "I've got the perfect school for you. I've got a teacher at a school." And I'm sitting there, and I'm guessing what school he's going to say. And he said, "My alma mater, the high school I graduated from, Perry." And I'm just sitting there thinking these things are lining up because they're like, why is it the school that I went to that this is the school that you want to put us at to do these talks? So
Yeah.
right now, one of our adjacent people, Incubator Comics, is already doing classes in the Carnegie Library system here in Pittsburgh. So he does it for the young crowd. So we're going to capture the high school and colleges and go in and show them how to do a comic, from the beginning to end, do all the marketing stuff, making sure you're making a profit, making sure you're not losing any money, how to do the crowdfunding, how to get in the stores, because I've noticed that there's not a lot of comic readers in the younger generation. Um, and we want to try to reintroduce comics to the younger generation, not only to bring new readers, but new creators. I don't want to see this thing die out as I age out of it, as I get older and I'm no longer allowed, I can no longer do it. We've got to make sure that there's people there to step into the space and help out.
So we have a question from the audience. From Tomb Raider, it says, "Do any of your books feature any prominent women of color?"
All of our books do, every single one. If you're talking about The Edge, Interim is Brazilian. We are introducing more women of color into the book. I like to create characters based around how they speak to me, and I don't want to just make a character something just to fill a spot. So you'll see more and more characters popping up. Tandra, who is the liaison to the government from the strike team, is a woman of color. Hazel and Beowulf, also, she owns the cat, the magical cat that helps Beowulf.
Mhm.
If you look at the other titles, you'll see plenty of women of color and of all spectrums. We try to make sure that we're hitting everything that is the world. Like when you look out your window and you see the world, you see varieties of people, and we want to try to have as many variety of people in books as we can.
Okay, good deal. Let's see. We got a Is that a question? HH Comics. Great that you are covering both the above the water, what everyone sees, and below the water, what people don't see about the comic business. That's right.
Yeah.
That's important to do best practices because
Yeah.
everybody's learning. There's always something to learn, and you never know what the next person might have discovered that
Mhm.
makes it a little more efficient to be out on the shelves because that's the whole idea is to share the story.
Oh yeah. So, and we want to, like I said, we want to try to bring as many people in here as possible. Like I talk comics with people all day long. I am mentoring a few younger people and a few older people on and getting into comics. And because when I started way back in the 90s on America Online, there was nothing. We had nothing. There was no information. No one was sharing anything because it was the big publishers, and they're not going to tell you how to make a comic book
No, no,
or where to go to
agree.
print something. Like the only printer we knew about was in Canada, and like it was like, how do you even approach them? Because they would only do orders if they were thousands of books. And the one thing that really is going to help all creators now is digital printing, because you could do a smaller print run and test it out at like local comic shops. You just walk into the shop and say, hey, I'm from around the area. Would you willing to carry my book on your shelves? And most of them will say, sure, give it to me. We'll try it out. Um, but I mean, it's out there if you want to go and get it. I mean, a comic
Yes.
book to me is not one of the easiest, but one of the cheapest creations you can do. Making a movie or a game costs. Making a comic is a little cheaper, especially if you don't print it. If you just go digital and put a PDF up on Webtoons or on your own website, it's very cost effective.
So what do you have planned? Like you mentioned about cross sharing of going to the cons. What's your travel list for those that want to get your signature on the books they buy?
Right. So I mean, if you're buying books from the website too, there's a checkbox there to ask if you want me to sign it, because I sign books all day. Our next venture will be Comicsburgh Day, actually at a local comic shop here, Phantom of the Attic. That's in August 5th. That Sunday. Our
Okay.
next travel con won't be until November. We'll be in Akron at the Akron Comic Con. Um, we did a lot of stuff in June. Like we were almost back to back to back in June. So we were at Heroes Con in June. We were Three Rivers Comic Con here in Pittsburgh. We did Altoona. So like summer and beginning of summer is where we do our hits, and then we try to do stuff locally just to so we don't have to pay for Airbnbs and travel and things like that, because
Right.
that eats your costs. That eats your costs. And I don't think there's anything more better than sleeping in my own bed. And when we go to shows, I can't take my bed with me, so it is a little weird. And it's always the noises. There's always these little weird noises you hear that you don't hear at home.
Oh man, I don't sleep. I just find some work to do until it's time to get up and get dressed. Cause no, it's always creepy and weird.
Right.
We have a question from HH Comics. Do you have plans to grow Comicsburgh to more creators or IPs?
Yeah. So I mean, we're always expanding out slowly. Because but the problem with it is the management of it. So generally, it's me, and then filter down to everyone else. So sometimes I don't want to do business stuff because it
I
messes with the
understand
creation
that.
time. So
Yep.
I mean, it becomes a thing where I go into the closet and I'm switching hats. So I end up splitting time with things. So I like give myself like a clock time on, okay, an hour creating, an hour doing business, an hour website. And sometimes it ends up being a little more than you think you can handle, so you have to throttle back. So that's one of the reasons why we're trying to slow down on bringing on more books, because then it's more for us to manage, and we want to be creators more than we want to be business people in this space.
And I understand that duality or wearing multiple hats. You
Yeah.
you want to be where it's fun and you're inspired and passionate about, but then you have all this other stuff.
Right.
So we got 33 and a third media. The fact that they are in the schools and is about to be in schools is a big deal. I agree. Comic books can play a big deal in literacy. And I think that's true for a lot of us. We didn't start really reading until we had that comic book to get off of the newsstands or got from our parents. So can you tell me a little bit like how'd you even become aware about comic books? What was your story with comic books?
So and I don't I'm gonna date myself, and I'll try not to date you on that. So do you remember when GI Joe was on the air,
Yes,
and
I do.
they had the commercials where they showed the comic book, and it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
GI Joe in the comic books, get it at your local wherever, continue the adventure. That was it right there. So it was a combination of that and watching Spider-Man as an Amazing Friends and all those other Avengers cartoons, and being able, I know, I know. So let's just put it out there. I'll be 50 years old next month. So I'll just put it out there. So,
Oh, look, happy birthday. That's what's up. We about the same age, so
so that's
it's
Black
all
Box
right.
Comics. That's Demetrius. Demetrius. Let's just say hi to the chat. Everybody into the chat. I was going to pop over, but I was jabbering so much I didn't get to hop over and say hi to everybody.
It's okay.
So and then I would call my grandmother because she worked. She had to go through town where she worked at. She worked on the other side of the city, and she had to go downtown. So I would say, Grandma, can you stop in? It was Woolworth. Dating
Oh,
myself again.
I loved Woolworth, especially the diner and get
Yeah.
some lunch or whatever. Oh my god.
So I would say, can you stop in Woolworth and get me some comic books? And I'm gonna date myself again. It was 50 cents for that comic book.
Yes.
And she bought the comic book back, and I fell in love right then. It's because it wasn't just the text and everything, it was the visual. And once I started reading comic books, then my granddad threw other books at me. And I will say that
Oh, see, okay.
on my path of being a creator, I would probably give it all probably to them and then my mom, because my grandfather was a poet. And
Oh, wow.
one summer, he sat me down and had me read the dictionary
Hmm.
and tested me on it. So I was learning right away that functional literacy was important, and to be able to then go to read Dracula, Frankenstein, and books like that at a young age was good for me, because it allowed me to learn words that I didn't wasn't hearing. And anytime that we were in a room playing and we said a word and he asked us to define the word we didn't know, the dictionary came out and we had to
Right, right.
and then we had to test on it again. So
Yeah,
it's just learn, 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 and never stop learning. And the thing about the literacy thing is that you like you see the literacy rates are down, and to me
it's
I put that on
scary.
not reading comic books. The comic
Yeah,
books
I
aren't
agree.
in those spaces that they were in before. They're not. I won't say they're not easy to get, but there's like a barrier now. You used to be able to walk into a grocery store or and spin the rack and pick up a comic. That doesn't
That's
exist anymore.
right.
Like comic books are in comic shops, which is why we're trying to expand into other spaces, like I said, pizza shops, coffee shops, wherever we think someone is going to read something. I want a comic book there, so somebody could just pick it up and say, "Hey, what's this? Why is this here? Oh, this is pretty cool. Let me get some more of that," and then hand it over to someone else to read. It just keep the cycle going, because we want to make sure that these things are forever. We don't want them to die.
No, that's right. So I noticed, and you talking about the barrier, um, Walmart was huge in having a section of comic books,
Hmm.
and they would have the bundle packets.
Yes.
But even that is slowly being like now it was every Walmart and now it's only some Walmart.
Yeah. I
So there is definitely a barrier in access to comic books.
mhm. And that's what we want to fix, is that I understand cost ratios and things are expensive. But if someone kind of says to me that $4 or $5 for a comic's expensive, and they're holding a Starbucks coffee, I'm going to question
Right. That part. That
how
drink
much.
is gonna be
Yeah,
gone in 30 minutes. That
right,
book can last almost forever.
right. But I find that people will pay for something if they see value.
That's true.
Anyone who does Kickstarters, you will see that sometimes people are charging 8, 9, $10 for a 24-page book, and people are willing to pay that price for that plus shipping.
Yes. Yes.
So what I like to do sometimes is we'll bundle up books for people. We'll say that, all right, we'll throw a bundle of Comicsburgh issue number ones in a package for you and give you a discount on it. When we're at conventions, if you buy more than one book, we're going to give you a discount. If you find out that there's a situation where you want to try something, like we give away PDFs for free in most cases. Like we want you to enjoy these things. Well, I mean, it's going to happen continuously, because if you ask me about, well, what are your influences, and I say GI
Yeah,
Joe,
no,
nobody knows who
good.
GI Joe is right now. That's not a thing.
Not the younger generation, anyways. They
No.
have no idea.
Right? Like when we go to conventions, and that's one of the elevator pitches, like, oh, the book, it's like GI Joe meets the boys and these other things, and they're looking like a dead look on their face, like, what's GI Joe? Like even though they just have recent movies, nobody liked them, so they don't remember or care about those movies. Even
No.
Transformers, I mean, it's kind of up in the air of someone who's going to remember that show. So I mean, I'm okay with my advanced age. I mean, look at all this gray in my beard. It's okay. I enjoy it.
Right,
I live
right.
with it. Fine.
Oh man, GI Joe has so much memories for me because I played with GI Joes. Like me and my cousins, we had the whole fort and the vehicles and the little weapons and
Mhm.
everything. And then I remember my dad telling me about his GI Joes were the bigger ones
Right.
back
Right.
in his day, and I was like, "What? They came in larger sizes? Let's find
Right.
one." It
There's
was just it was a connection.
hmm Right, and it was something that you would come home from school and you would turn it on, and it was a 30-minute action adventure and things got done. You felt like things got done at the end of the show, and Cobra always got their butts kicked, and they always had to retreat. And then the movie came out,
Yes.
and it flipped everything on its head. And you're like, we watched it for the first time, and I know they had to change the scene with Duke because of the Transformers movie when Optimus Prime died, and the parents and the kids
Oh,
freaked
that's
out.
right.
And you're watching the scene, and you're like, I don't care what they say, he's dead. There's no way. He took a snake to the heart. He's dead. Just accept Duke is dead. And they had to change that scene. They're like, oh, he's in a coma. Like, no, nobody falls into comas like that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I think you have a video for us to look at, highlighting your comic. Is it one of your trailers, right?
So this is the trailer that goes over issues 1 through 4, which is the Revenant storyline, and then gives you a sneak peek at the Reign of Chaos.
Sir, the Revenant is back.
I have played a puppet far too long. First, you will suffer. Then, you will die.
We have to stop him.
Target in range.
When I give the order, storm the building.
We are in position.
Well. Looks like someone wants to play. No! Let's play. This isn't just a fight. This is war.
Looks like chaos is coming.
That's what's up. That was good. That was good. I'm sure people are gonna gravitate to both websites now. So either website that we showed today, people can order the Edge, or they can go to comicsburgh.com and get yours and your partner's comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's more books available on the Edge website than there was Comicsburgh, because this guy right here is in charge of the website, and I'm really slow about putting stuff up. But I put up stuff from my own website really fast. So
okay.
That's that management thing I was talking about before. I haven't put the website hat on in a couple of weeks. So, thank you.
Your partners, you did mention there's 3 or 4 others. Who are they?
So it's Grant, DP Brown, and our other partner. He just goes by Herrenberg by the name of his book.
Okay.
He's more interested in showcasing the women who are part of the show than himself, so he just goes by Herrenberg.
Herrenberg. Okay.
So it says Grant Langford. Grant does Beowulf, Memoirs of the Morbid, and he just released a new book called League of Cryptids. So it's like Sasquatch, the Jersey Devil are protecting the Earth from alien invaders.
Oh, really? Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Okay.
Then DP does the Theme of Thieves.
The Theme of Thieves. Okay.
Yes. That's the time travel book where there's people disappearing and they're going back in time to find out why they're disappearing.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like
Okay.
he calls it like it's like Lost, Quantum Leap, and then The Wire.
And then, just in case,
Mhm.
is there anything else that we did not share that you would like to share with everyone today?
I mean, I think we kind of covered all the bases on that. I mean,
Did we though? We don't have any Black Comic Lord exclusives because we love those.
oh, we could talk about exclusives if you guys want to talk exclusives. We can do that.
Yeah, yes, we
I
need
do have that.
we need the secrets.
Right, I do have the Kickstarter coming up. So if we want to throw something in that, we can always do that.
Okay.
So we always got rooms for exclusive covers if people are interested. We've done two so far, so we're always looking for new more.
So you the Kickstarter. So what's that? What was it
So
about?
that's
What we
going
got?
to be for the volume 2, which is going to cover the Reign of Chaos storyline. So I'm planning to launch that August 24th, which is my birthday. So everybody can come and support me on my birthday and pledge to my Kickstarter and turn to buy me presents.
Happy birthday!
I mean, it's kind of happenstance that it happened like that. So we'll have volume 1 and volume 2. I did the volume. We had the volume 1 Kickstarter I did 2 years ago, and this is going to be my second time jumping back into the Kickstarter realm. I mean, it's an interesting thing to do because, like I tell anybody, the hardest thing I find is building the page for the Kickstarter, because I just want to make sure that everything is slotted in there. And I see Alfred is asking about 2025.
Yes.
So you guys know Alfred, he does chess and blowtorch.
Yep,
So
right.
so I've known Alfred going back to those America Online days. So I'm gonna date him too, since he wants to pipe up and say stuff. We're doing a chess, and we've been planning this since back then. The Chess Edge crossover.
So that's gonna be a thing.
Yes.
Because okay.
That'll be out next year.
Good deal.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, we've been planning this a long time, and it's finally happening. And like Paige is one of our Comicsburgh adjacent people. So like if you see his books, it'll have the Page One Productions Comicsburgh logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know Alfred. He's good people.
So I think next week, issue number 6 of The Edge is in stores. Actually, I did have something else if you guys want to share that. We've got the volume 1 trade and a re-release of issue 5 is up for pre-order in stores right now on previews.
Nice.
So into the chat. So we don't do monthly releases because that's insane. So
a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Marvel and DC can get away with that. Me wearing multiple hats. But we're usually releasing quarterly, and this is going to be our first time releasing the trade in stores. So I said that I think orders are due tomorrow. So if you guys are headed down to your comic shop anytime soon, make sure that you let them know that you want to get into that Edge.
Okay.
But like I said, that if you don't want to wait to get things through Diamond or through stores, I've got up to issue number 9 on the website, and that closes out the Chaos storyline. And then our next storyline, issue 10, is called God's Thunder.
Oh, look at that. Okay, good deal.
So
thank you for that.
So for the people who have not read the book or people who have had, God's Thunder is the terrorist organization that's in the first issue, and they hate people with powers.
Right. So I want to extend my gratitude for you coming on our show and hanging out with me. What we're gonna do though, we're gonna ask, like we ask everybody,
Mhm.
we want you to say, we're gonna put you by yourself and
Okay.
say, I am a comic lord.
I am a comic lord.
Yes,
Should I
I'm
be
a
with a
black
question
comic
mark,
lord.
or
No,
should I say it like with some
you
gusto, like I'm a black comic
you
lord?
you
Say it
are a
like
black
that
comic lord. Yes, you gotta say with emphasis,
with
and
emphasis.
then
Like,
you become part of our family.
oh, there you go. That's how we do it in family now. Am I invited to the
Yes,
cookout? I get to come to the cookout now.
I mean, you're here. You're here. So you have to finish out with
There you go. Let's
the
say it. My name
statement.
is Marvin Wynn, and I'm a black comic lord. And then I got a grit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good
Nice
deal.
to-
No, thank you for
Thank you. I
sharing
appreciate you. Thank you.
your universe with us, and we appreciate you. And we're gonna play Phil's trailer because you're in it.
Yeah, for 2 seconds.
Because we have Phil's exhibit coming up.
Yeah.
Isn't it around your the end of this month, I
It's
think.
July 25th. As far as I know right now, I mean, I'm still waiting for the exact date and time. I know the reception. It has on the website the reception's on the 26th, so I'm trying to clarify that so I can know when I have to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we figure out 25th or 26th. It's at the August Wilson Center down from
Mm-hmm.
anyone from Pittsburgh watching. It's the August Wilson Center downtown Pittsburgh, July 25th and 26th. But the exhibit runs until January.
Oh, 26, Phil says is in the comments. All right, Mr. Producer, whenever you're ready.
Documentary, if we could capture what's going on right now, it would be like going in the past and getting the Harlem Renaissance, capturing that on film in the beginning.
What's important about this film is you are documenting exactly all aspects of how that is affecting this industry. Start talking about, the whole collection process. You're talking about fans, you're talking about collectors, you're talking about investors, you're talking about the producers, the workers. What you're capturing here is going to be important years after we're gone, because I think your film is going to show a side of this that nobody ever thought about. And it's taken all this long to actually put this level of commitment into what you're trying to show. People are going to be shocked. Oh, there's that many black people that are into this, and they spend this, and this business is this big. I'm honored to be a part of it. Larry's honored to be a part of it. This is going to be.
What I was doing is whatever I worked on, I added black characters into I'd stick them in the background. That's how I started doing all the crowd scenes. I'm gonna have somebody black in this somewhere.
Well, thank you. So I guess we're going to move on to the rest of our show where we're just chopping it up whenever. Did you get it? Do you collect comics? I mean, you got your own comic, but are you like a collector?
Yeah. I mean, I used to collect. Mainly now, I just buy books from people that I know. So I've got I do most of the Kickstarter, and then if someone I know it has something coming out in shops, I'll go and grab it. But I mean, the days of me hitting the shop to buy X-Men every week or every month that's over with.
Oh, okay.
I got enough books, and I don't have space to store them right now.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Right.
I'm running out of room, but I'm not telling anybody. I just get my regulars, and people send me stuff and Kickstarters, and I got boxes to the ceiling.
Yeah, like I hit the Kickstarters all the time. So I mean, I'm supporting everyone that is trying. So if you're out there and you're trying to do your book, and hit me up, because I'll be willing. I'll help you out. I'll be willing.
Okay. That's what's up. Um, Normally I grab a bunch of books and then people pop in, but I guess we just waiting for people to pop in. So, did you have another trailer or anything? Well, what you got, Derek? What you got going on? You got any flexes today? What was
You're on mute. You're muted. You're muted.
push the button?
Producer can't even unmute himself. That's horrible, right?
Like,
Hey,
push the
great
button.
interview. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just queue up a quick commercial and then we'll move right on to Wednesday wrap up. Marvin, you can feel free to stick around if you want to chop it up with us. Maybe we'll have a few other people join in a bit. All right. Completely your call. We'll just go to a commercial break for a few seconds.
All right.
When you go to an art museum and you see pictures on the wall, what do you think? I can tell you that a picture cannot audibly speak anything. Yet you will be challenged to find something, however, that doesn't speak louder. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that is how I justify buying black books at times solely for their covers. Sure, I would love for the story inside to be amazing. I would love for the writing to capture my attention and hold my thoughts for ransom. Yet I have experienced a world of story in an image. I am drawn in by drawings and pulled in by paintings, not having an inkling of the message communicated by the ink. For my mind has made up its own mind, and it has told me it does not care what the artist creates. For I, a created being, see me in the work. I see my babies, I see my ladies, I see my brothers, I see my fathers, I see my people, I see my equals, I see everything and anything and something completely different from you and you too. We see the same shapes and colors, but not the same images. Beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder, for I beheld a canvas that canvassed my heart and mind, giving me peace, giving me sadness, and giving me anger, giving me love and giving me hope. So when I see comic books with a face like me, I see a story where half the story has yet to be told, because truly it can't. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
All right. Here we are. So, first of all, chat, thanks for sticking with us. You know, we started early tonight, 8 o'clock. I got to celebrate
did.
the engine. For those of you who maybe you got to see our 9 Eastern show, but maybe you didn't catch the 8 o'clock Eastern show. We had several people from Epiphany Engine celebrating the fact that that Kickstarter hit its goal, and now they're just doing everything they can to overachieve. So that's a great celebration. Be sure to check that video out. Also, Paul, he's beginning his hiatus officially now. So Paul, enjoy your time away from the Black Comic Lore, just getting a little bit of a break. And then who knows? Maybe we'll have some other people join us shortly, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Anything can happen because that's just how it is. Wednesday wrap up. Did you get to go to any LCSs today or?
No. If I'm being honest, almost all my time is going to work. So yeah, I've been starting my days quite early and ending them at least 12 hours later. So
12 hours a day. Come on. You have to break.
That sounds insane.
It is a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah. But hey, it's it's actually enjoyable work. So you know, the amount of time doing it feels like a job, but you know, what I'm doing in a lot of cases doesn't. So that's good. Yeah, so no LCS, but I have been doing just, you know, buying a few things, and I definitely need to catch on reading. I haven't had a chance to read much at all.
Oh, yeah, my reading is way behind.
Yeah,
Way behind.
yeah, definitely.
I
How about you,
did
Marvin?
discover. Oh yeah, what you got going on this week, Marvin? Anything?
This week?
Any collector items? Yeah. Or this month? I don't know.
I'm hoping I get the Weird Creator hat tomorrow, and I can finish up some scripts that my artist has been asking me about for the past couple months here now.
Okay.
I have this problem where I start a script and then jump to another one.
Oh,
and
I understand that. I understand that.
So, and what ended up happening this week is that I'm doing a 3-part story with Blaine, and I was finishing the first part about it, and then decided that the first part is now the second part, and the second part is now the first part of the story, because I flipped the characters around and made a character that was only going to be in one book. He's in all 3 now, because I like the character so much. So I'm going to have him be the little push between each book in it. So those are going to be 3 one-shots, and those will be available maybe in October, because we're also going to kickstart for that action figure that we're doing also too.
Oh, that's right. You guys have action figures.
Yes.
I could pull those up and show those.
Yeah, let's do
Let me
that.
see if I can.
So my affinity for the GI Joe made me go with the 3-inch, the 3 1/4 inch scale, so the 1/18 scale. Even though everyone's moving up to the 1/12 to 6-inch scale, I'm sticking with my my little guys, because that's the one I like. But we're going to kickstart that and the one-shot at the same time. So the first part is called High Stakes, and this one is kind of like we've got a guy who's holed up in a casino that's got some information that everyone wants. So he's coming. There's going to be a bunch of people coming to that casino to get at him, and Blaine is the only thing standing in their way. So
all right. And who's next after Blaine?
So it's going to be a 3-part Blaine story, and then there's going to be a Mystic story. So so the swords have a very long history, and we're finally going to explain the background of the swords. So, man, I don't want to give any spoilers, but if you're heading down to your comic shop next week and you get issue 6, we're starting Mystic on his journey in that issue. He kind of got waylaid in issue 5, and he's going on a little journey through those swords. So the swords are kind of giving him information that he probably doesn't want anything to do with.
Okay, all right.
So it's going to explain why he wears body armor, pretty much. Like, he's wearing an armor like a knight would wear, and we're going to explain why that is.
All right. And who's your next action figure after Blaine?
You
have another one?
It's going to be that guy.
The one you seem to not like, but has
right.
Oh, that guy. Okay, that guy.
So, and the reason why we did that is that it's probably going to be a 2-pack. And
this guy, right?
Yeah, that freaking jerk.
Yeah.
So because it's going to be a slow build, so we wanted to have something for someone for Blaine to punch in the face. So you got to have the action figure, and then you have to have another action figure that he can punch in the face. So it's going to be Revenant.
So he's the punching bag. Oh.
Well, I mean, if he bleeds, he's going to duplicate. So I mean,
so
you're
gotta happen, right?
Yeah, you're going to buy one Blaine. If you make him bleed, you don't have two Revenant action figures. So, I mean, it just kind of worked out like that. That we were like, it's going to be the trio and then Revenant, because those are the top 4 characters and the ones that everyone was asking for. And when I kind of left it out there, and people were like, "Yeah, well, we want a Revenant figure," I'm like, We'll do Revenant next. So we're working with Loose Collector. I don't know if you recently they did Lady Death for Brian Plato. They've done El Morato. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. So they did Rocketeer. So they're up and coming in the indie action figure market. So we're working with them. Like I've known those guys for a long time, and if I didn't know them, I probably wouldn't be do action figures. And I will tell anyone up front that if you're going to do action figures, don't
Really?
do it.
Why is that?
The expense is ridiculous.
Okay.
You're talking upwards of 10 to 15,000 up front.
So that's like the fixed cost, and then you got to make it up with the volumes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm going to have to move 1,000 figures, and it's going to be so. We did
and that's for each character.
Yes, 1,000 units per. Yep.
Mm.
So I did a pre-order and I moved like 350 so far. Mm-hmm. So we're going to hit Kickstarter, see if we can try to move another half of those through the Kickstarter, and then get in production right after the Chinese New Year.
Okay. Wow. Those are some pretty big numbers.
Yeah, it is.
And then when you're selling, I mean, just through the Kickstarter, through the website, any other channels that you sell them through, or are those?
They'll be in stores. So I've already talked with not only comic shops but toy stores about them carrying whatever is going to be my leftover. So I'm hoping not to have a lot left over, but if they move the way I think they're going to move, we're going to do more. So we'll do some more. We'll do variants. We'll do more weapons, equipment. I don't know if we'll do vehicles or anything, because like we do have a plane. We call it the Equinox. I don't know. I sent that to a guy who does 3D for me, and I was like, what do you think this is going to cost if we do this and we do it to scale? And he told me the price, and I was like, I just closed the chat window. I'm like, I don't want to even talk to you right now. You're telling me crazy numbers. And the one thing that I didn't bring up earlier when we were talking about the G.I. Joe stuff, the one regret I will always have that I never got that USS flag from G.I. Joe. And I was actually looking at one because I guess somebody found like a bunch of them in a warehouse in box, and they were selling them for like $4,000. And I was thinking those things were like $108 when they first came out, and that was expensive back then. So I'm like, I guess I'll never get that flag, and it's burning me inside that I'll never get it.
That's some big time money there.
Oh yeah,
Rich, what's going on?
What's up, Rich?
What up? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Doing all right. How's your week going?
Busy, man. We're doing Vacation Bible School. In my church. So I've been doing that all week. I popped in earlier. It just so happened I didn't have to teach tonight. So I was kind of at home trying to kind of relax. And then I got Paul's text. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it's been a long week. The weather's brutal. So yeah, like 103, 100. We finally got some overcast weather today. So it was only like 95.
Oh, so fortunate.
Yeah.
Only 95. That's the kicker.
Only 95. Yeah. So, but I'm good though. Shout out to everybody. Hope everybody's had a wonderful week. Like I said, I've had fun messing with the kids this week. So. We got one more day, and then we got a carnival on Friday. So, yeah.
Nice.
I remember them days, Vacation Bible School, man. That brings some memories.
Yeah. Trying to be a blessing to the children. The children of the day.
So I did want to take a moment. So we talked about the Epiphany Engine Kickstarter, which
yes.
It is target, but we're trying to blow way past that.
Yes.
There's another Kickstarter that's going on right now that I think has maybe 15, 14 hours left. and I just want to make sure everybody knows about it. So, we interviewed the group from Afrofutures a few weeks ago. And the thing that I personally found interesting about Afrofutures is that not only is it an Afrofuturistic magazine, but also it includes modern versions of characters from long ago. Specifically, the characters from All Negro Comics #1. So they basically created modern versions of those characters within this magazine. And then also on top of that, Josephine Baker, and a story detailing Josephine Baker's life as a spy. So if you are interested in All Negro Comics, Josephine Baker, check this out. There's maybe, I think, like I said, 14 hours left in this Kickstarter. I'll drop a link to the Kickstarter here, and I guess I could put a few pages on here so you can see. So let's see, John Henry. I got John Henry in the book, and this was one of the characters from All Negro Comics, but I can't remember which one it is. And let's see. Yeah, and I don't have the names on here. This is
Savannah.
Savannah, and Streetwise Hercules. And then I also have some Josephine Baker, and the style for the Josephine Baker will remind you of the Batman animated series. So anyway, check out the Kickstarter. Like I said, I'll pull up this link and share it in just a minute here. But this is a good book, and they've hit their target too, but they want to close out really strongly. So give that a shot.
Yeah. Definitely got to support the good stuff.
Right. That's how you get more good stuff.
Yes.
So
can't complain about what the mainstream is doing when you got so much good stuff produced by us.
So, Rich, have you had a chance to read anything yet that's come out this week?
Oh no! Like I said, I've been with the kids. I've been. The churches have been on lockdown. I hadn't been to the shop or anything. So, I don't even know. Let's look and see what's coming out, because I don't even know what's coming out. I'm pretty sure there's probably one or two Blood Hunt books that's probably out.
I can pull that up. Give me just a minute.
I can specifically tell you what's coming out on July 24th in comic shops. It's called the
And what would that be?
6. The Edge issue 6 is out in stores next week.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And we need to. I'm sorry. What was the date? 24th next week.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if we have that. I'm gonna just skip ahead to next week to see if that's on here. If not, then we need to get it added.
I don't know if it comes up on full box. It's on previews on the preview site.
It's on previews.
Yeah, I did contact them about that, and they were like, "Well, you have to internet yourself." I'm like, "Man, I got enough work."
Oh wow, they give you shade.
Yeah.
So, and this goes back to that topic or that question that you got about, if you're just creating, that's one thing, but legs below, or what's happening below the water, right? Yep. There's a whole lot more that's happening.
Yes.
And then you have to keep on changing those hats.
Right. That's the hustle part.
Yeah.
That's when you turn into hustle man.
All right. So for this week, we've got Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt #3.
And he's holding Dracula? Is that what that is?
That's Morbius.
That's Morbius.
Oh, that's Morbius. Oh, okay.
Is it let's say Morbin time on there?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does it say Morbin time? It's Morbin time? Was that from the movie? It's Morbin time or something?
So wow. And I haven't had a chance to look at that one yet. And then Blood Hunt,
I haven't seen it.
#2 second printing. That's a nice cover. It still doesn't beat our favorite Fantastic Four. When does that come out anyway? It's got to be soon.
Yeah.
The Fantastic
Four.
That's next week.
That's next week.
Okay. Next week.
I definitely pre-ordered that one. I know that.
Yeah, that's not even a black cover, but yeah, I got a few of those coming in just because it's very different. So let's see, Dracula Blood Hunt #3. That's the first print of that one. I'm having a hard time seeing what's on this cover. I'm just gonna click on it here. So okay, got Blade's daughter.
It's a little abstract, it looks like, with that color palette, because it's got a lot of earth
Yeah, it
tones and
does.
then some faded dark reds.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. Does it
Okay.
say who the artist is for that cover?
Rod Reese, I guess, is the artist. And by the way, shout out to me because I got rid of my I got rid of my I added a pop-up stopper, so I don't have these pop-ups when I set it and then one pops up. But those usually bother me on the show here. And then let's see, another Dracula Blood Hunt #3, the Manhanini variant. And then we've got a Green Lantern War Journal #11.
Yep.
So Rich, I forgot. So I think that one's kind of cooling off a little bit for you.
Yeah, well, it is, but I think issue 12 will be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
They're only doing 12 issues on that, but
okay.
yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It started to cool after, I would say, issue 8 or 9. I mean, it's been decent. It's been decent, but it hasn't really been. When it first started, it was real good, and it was Philip Kennedy Johnson kind of maintained it, and then I guess he must have got word that they were getting ready to end it because it just went kind of flat. So, but overall, it's been a decent read. You know, I anytime I can get Jon Stewart in a comic, I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do with Jon Stewart after they finish this up.
Okay, yeah, and then Jon Stewart's also gonna get a little bit more attention because the announcement. When was that? 1 or 2 weeks ago for the DC. Was it a movie or show? I can't even remember now. It's a show,
Yeah,
right?
the show Lanterns.
Yeah. So that should be. I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then Heart Piercer #3 from Dark Horse Comics. Uh-oh. I think we have another a guest here.
Oh, look at him! Who
Uh-oh.
is that?
Hey.
What's up?
How you guys doing? Thanks for having
Doing
me.
great. Doing great.
What's going on? How you doing, sir?
Not too bad, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I thought I'd shave for tonight.
Good, looking good.
And you've been doing a lot of world traveling lately too, right?
Yeah, it's been a little nutty. We went to we got invited out to Comic-Con Cape Town, which is our amazing second trip back to South Africa, which is super humbling, super dope, super cool. What an amazing experience, and to see so many comic fans out there. You just don't know. And last year was Johannesburg, and it was about 100,000 people. It was massive. And then Cape Town was a bit smaller, and it was it was just absolutely packed. And they've got some really interesting guests out there, from actors in One Piece to there's a South African show, Blood and Water, some of the actors from there and some other folks that you might know. One of the voices actually for Veronica Mars, who's Sailor Pluto, Veronica Taylor, sorry, she signed, we did a Niobe homage, so of Sailor Moon for you, Meg the Stallion.
Oh, look at that. It's so cool.
And one of the voices actually signed it, from Sailor Pluto. So yeah, I want to post this soon because we did this a couple of years ago now. But obviously with Meg's posting, I'm like, oh, maybe we should pop this, remind folks of what we do. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Nice,
I love
nice.
that cover.
Thank you. I will tell for folks that are interested, first of all, for you Black Comic Lords crew that are in the chat here, I always come with a giveaway. So tonight, this is the giveaway.
What is that? Wow.
This is your Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents, yeah.
Yes. Oh man. Wow.
Uh-oh.
That's dope.
Thank you.
So what does somebody need to do to get that giveaway?
You know, usually what I do is put my dice down. I say pick a number from 1 to 100, and
Yes, I love that.
You like that? Okay. Where did I put my dice?
The
Oh my
Thursday
goodness!
night giveaways. If people don't
Thursday
know.
night giveaway. Yes. Oh, there they are. Yeah. So, and you guys can jump in too as well. So folks are in the chat, and you guys pick a number from 1 to 100. By the time I leave, someone is gonna get this. So I want to roll these dice, these percentile Dungeons and Dragons dice, because I'm a nerd. All right, I've rolled the dice number, and whoever gets closest to this number, it's out of 100. So
out of 100, okay.
Pick your number from 1 to 100. The winner tonight is going to win this.
You only get one guess, right?
My number's always 4.
Yeah, you only get one. Yeah, you only get one number. That's it. And then shipping is free. So we'll ship it to you for free. I'll sign it for free, you know, with a British accent, you know, and then I'll mail that bad boy to you. So whoever wins is going to basically, well, and I'll mention it throughout the evening, of course. Whoever wins, we'll mail that to you for free, and just you'll email us or DM me on Instagram your mailing address, and then we'll just send it out to you. That's Tales of Asunder issue 1, featuring Niobe and the Stranger. So I don't know if you guys, so folks in the chat, who, you know, like, you know, you guys can ask these folks, who in the chat has heard of Stranger Comics and Niobe? Who has heard of our project? Has anyone heard of this before? Anyone not heard of this before?
Me. Oh.
Wow.
So
I think the jig is up on you, bro. I think everybody knows about it.
Okay, cool. Well, what's kind of crazy? Hey, look at that! Some folks have heard of us. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. What a great! I love that Tomb Raider. That's awesome. What a great name. That's awesome. Well, I thought I'd share with you guys, and thank you so much for having me on. And I know it's super late on the East Coast, but I thought I could just go on for about 3 more hours real quick. And so this is our 15-year anniversary of Stranger Comics.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. 15-year anniversary. It's pretty amazing. And we first came out with The Untamed, which first features Niobe, San Diego Comic-Con in 2009. So pretty humbling. We're going back to San Diego Comic-Con next week. Is anyone going to San Diego Comic-Con? I know you guys are East Coasty folks.
No, I'm not. I was supposed to, but it didn't work out.
I'll be here when they invite me. When they invite me.
There you go. Okay, bet. Sure. We'll be out. We'll be back out to New York Comic Con as well. And yeah. So thank you, Tom Red. I appreciate that. Thank you. So this is 2009. All we had is one comic book, The Untamed. We shared a booth with 9 other publishers. We didn't know what we were doing. And here we are 50 years later, still not knowing what we're doing, but we're somehow around, you know?
Yes.
And I wanted to give your fans, you know, the Black Comic Laws crew, an opportunity, if possible, just to hear the quick pitch, so they have an understanding, and give folks an opportunity to, A, buy stuff off me on massive discount tonight, give you guys the first opportunity, along with my Thursday Live crew, to actually get the first advanced copy of the new Niobe She-Tribe with a Red Woo edition.
Wow.
You've got these opportunities tonight. Oops, as I just dropped this, and now it's the Denton Dinged edition, you know. We have display copy. And then we got the mental editions version.
Oh, I love that.
And we also have, guys, check it out. We have, so this is me on the boat coming out of Purgatory 15 years ago. This is our wraparound edition. And this was drawn by Hyung for The Untamed in 2009. This is Hyung Taek Nam, the lead artist for The Last of Us. And this also features the first appearance of Niobe. So it's an Untamed anniversary edition. We have them in paper, and if people want to get extra crazy, just to kind of show you how wild we get, we also have them in the
metal.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow, that
all
is
the
so
fingerprints
cutie.
as well. Look at that. Yeah. So you
Yes,
I can
love it.
add more fingerprints. So we've got them in red metal paper and also in the silver metal edition as well. So what I thought I'd do, guys, is if you guys are cool, I'll give you guys a quick introduction to the Untamed and give you guys the pitch. And just so you know, for folks that are in the chat, most likely we're going to be rocking with Carl Jones. He signed an LOI. Carl, of course, is one of the head guys on Boondocks, writer, producer,
Right.
Boondocks. So playing with him, a lot of fun stuff coming down the pike. So this is where it all begins, guys. For folks that have heard of Stranger Comics but don't know the story, the Black Comic Lords have heard it. They might fall asleep. They've heard it too many times, but I'll
We're okay with it. We're okay with it.
Okay. Thank you. So here's the pitch, guys, for you folks out there. So here we go. Would you damn your family to save the world? This is a story of a man who's stuck in purgatory. And after 10 years, the devil comes along and he says, I'll give you 7 days to reap the 7 souls that murdered you and your family. He says, well, sign me up. He takes a drifter's return to a one-horse town and a huge world. As his memory comes back in broken shards, he realizes when he was alive, he was a bad man and maybe he deserved to die. But now he's on a path to save his family. On his path to save his family's soul, he meets a little elven girl called Niobe. And she reminds him of how old his murdered daughter would have been, giving this man a second chance to be a good man, a father. He only has 7 days. The kicker is, what if she's one of the 7 souls he has to collect? And the devil set the whole thing up just to find her. Would you damn your family to save the world, or would you damn the world to save your family? Because if Niobe can stay alive in the Untamed, she will grow up to become my world's Luke Skywalker. I would say the Acolyte, but I know it seems a bit sensitive subject these days.
Not with us.
The Acolyte is
No,
Amanda Stenberg,
not.
who wrote the first Niobe with me. Kind of crazy. So Niobe spins off. It's a Beauty and the Beast love story. Give you guys kind of a glimpse into the kind of artwork that we do. For folks that are interested. Oh, Ben Jones, thank you. I appreciate that. I will check that out. Strange Comics needs to check their Instagram DMs for a special gift. Sigh. Okay, I will check my Instagram for sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. So there you go. Here is some Niobe action right there.
Look at that. Wow.
These are the hardcovers right here, guys. The hardcover of Niobe Shear's Life, which has got Viola Davis's forward. You got all these wonderful things right here. So we have 6 hardcovers, guys. And for folks that are in the chat, if anybody in the chat actually wants to get something from me, all trade paperbacks will be $5 off. So if you claim in the chat tonight while I'm on, I could do Niobe Shear's Life for $15 instead of $20. And so let me know if you guys want to get into Niobe's World of Asunder while I'm in the chat. And I would do all 6 trade paperbacks for $80 instead of $125. So if you want, for the Black Comic Lords tonight, everything set within our world, you could get every trade paperback for, look at that. Ooh, pretty amazing stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's brilliant.
For $80 instead of $125, including where it all begins, The Untamed, The Sinner's Prayer, which is what I was sharing with you earlier. So let me know if you guys want anything. And then also for you guys, if you prefer the hardcover, we have great deals on that. If anybody is interested, before we take these to San Diego Comic-Con, there are only 77 copies of this. So 7 days, 7 souls, 77 copies of the anniversary edition of The Untamed. These are going for $40, and I've pre-sold quite a few, and we most likely will sell out of San Diego. So let me know if anyone's interested. And the other stuff I did bring, which is a little more reasonable and cheaper, is I have a few of these left, guys, which we printed in Johannesburg, the Comic-Con Africa exclusive.
So pretty.
Yeah, it's super lovely. So that's the spiel. And of course, we've got the Sailor Moon. So if you guys see anything you like the look of, we also have our anniversary edition of, which is also, one was a Kickstarter and one's our other San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which is, of course, your Fantastic Four 52 homage.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And for people who want to order tonight, you said they need to claim in the chat?
You can claim in the chat. You can also go onto our website. If you go to our website, which is strangercomics.com, there's a welcome code. You can download 6 issues literally for free. 6 issues for free. You can use the welcome code to get 10% off anything on the website. While I'm on, I also bought a few sneaky hip hops and also a few sneaky video game homages.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
So we've got Erathune issue 1, the Donkey Kong homage, the Bonk homage for Nabishi's Life issue 2.
Man, that brings back memories. Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
You got Excite Bike right
Love
here.
it. Love it.
You got you remember this one?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Yep.
Oh, Ultra Beast. I do remember that one.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's
Yep.
okay. Got it. Yeah.
That
was an arcade. That was an actual arcade game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You got Legend of Zelda there.
Yep.
Yes.
So there you go. So we have, I believe, 6 homages of video game variants that are normally $20 each. I will do a video game variant bundle of all these issue 1s and 2s for $60 half price. If anybody is a collector and likes collecting super rare things, we got you on that. And we also, just for fun, I bought out some of our hip hop homages, which the Lords have seen. We've got.
Look at that. Oh, so pretty.
Super pretty. These are generally $20 each. And tonight I will do $20 for the set for the Erykah Badu live homage and the Lauryn Hill homage. We have a few more left of these, which are running really low on. The DMX homage.
Look at that.
The TLC homage.
Biggie Smalls. Who doesn't know any of these homages?
Right, you guys are from the East Coast. You guys
incredible.
be snapping these up. Look at that. The tribe homage, what everyone's always after. And the other tribe joint right there. Now, a lot of these I'm showing you guys, we don't sell on our website anymore because they become super, super rare and collectible. Your De La homage right there. So if anybody is interested in the hip hop homages, I will do a big discount. These generally go from anything from 30 to 20 to 40, depending on. Any one of these tonight, I will do for $10. So if you see one that you like the look of while I'm on with the Lords, let me know. So like these are not on the website anymore. So if you want something like this, very, very rare stuff, let me know. But this all takes place in the world of Asunder. And just to kind of give you a glimpse into the interior artwork of our stuff, as example. So here's Dusu I was showing earlier. Right. This is kind of what Dusu looks like on the interiors. So if you haven't read Dusu, if you haven't got into the world of Asunder, and congrats to the Epiphany engine, the character Dusu is going to end up being in the Epiphany engine. This is the character that's in
Right.
Epiphany Engine. Dusu is going to be in Epiphany Engine. So, and that's Naibi's brother right there, Waso. We've got a lot of first appearances in here. So yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of fun stuff, guys. A lot of fun stuff. Oh, look at that! I got that hardcover. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I heard that Rich is an executive producer on Epiphany Engine.
Yeah, we all are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony had announced that tonight. Oh, that was just incredible. Oh,
Congratulations.
I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Congrats. How are you feeling?
It's a little surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. We get a chance to be a part of history. Something I can show my daughter, my grandkids.
Absolutely.
Just your daddy ran his mouth one night and helped create history. So, I mean, for real, it's what the cool thing about it is, Sebastian, is that for me, I'm not. A lot of people are pumped and excited, and I am in a way, but I'm kind of like laid back with it because I felt like it was going to be done. You know what I'm saying? It was just to me, it was just kind of like, all right, this is going to happen. There's no way that this is not going to happen. And so I kind of was on that side of it or whatever, and so for me, it's beautiful to see creators of color able to come together and make something. What I'm looking forward to is the things that are going to come out of it.
Yes.
Yeah. This is going to give opportunities for certain creators to say, you know what, I like your character. Let's collab. I think we can look forward to some of that. And let's be honest, with that many creators and that many IPs, that many ideas, that many concepts, everything as far as put together a media publishing company is right there.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're talking about animation, talking about comics, you're talking about books, a little bit of everything. And so for me, it's just like, okay, it's almost like catching lightning in a bottle. And so I'm glad that you're a part of it. I'm glad all the creators are a part of it. But it's just going to be interesting to see what comes out of it. Because in my humble opinion, they were talking about Black Panther earlier, and people were talking about, what was going to come out of that. Black Panther came out in what year? 2018, 2017?
Right.
Yeah,
17 probably.
Now, yeah.
And so I think that was a moment that was almost missed. This kind of, in my opinion, makes up for that. That ground. Because I feel like the inspiration, the ability to be creative is sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. And I'm just happy and proud that people could put their egos aside.
Yes.
To make this happen. Because I'll share this with you guys and I'm gonna shut up. About 3 years ago, somebody came to me with this idea. And one of my things to them was, I don't know if you can get past the egos. I just don't know. I mean, I'm saying, because that's egos. Listen, nobody likes to talk about ego.
Right.
But let something be where you have to bring it up. This is the kind of thing, it's like everybody had to kind of like put their egos aside or put their agendas aside for a greater goal. And what we've seen is that one, it's possible. And two, from here on out, there's no excuse.
Exactly. The barrier's been torn down.
Yep. That ceiling is been done away with. So I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see characters like Dusu, who, even though I love Naomi, but I am a Black man. And I like to see Black men in action. I like to see Black men do their thing. And so I'm glad that he's in the book. And Naomi will always get her shot. She's the flagship. For Stranger Comics, there is no. That's who she is. But I love Dusu, and I love your writing on it. And so for me, it's one of those things that some people that have never seen Niobe or Dusu will be able to put their eyes on your character.
Yeah, right.
For the first time.
Yep.
And that's the other thing too, because if you think about it, you know, you do more of the fantasy type stuff. Superhero guys may not even know about Niobe.
Absolutely.
They'll be able to see your character. Who put this character? You know what I'm saying? It's so many opportunities for people to discover new characters and create a frenzy around the fandom.
Right. Right.
DC and Marvel are in trouble.
Yes.
I don't think they know. I don't really think they know how much trouble they're in, because here's the thing. If we ever get it in our mind that we could really do this,
yeah,
then they're going to be like, you'll see a whole lot of black stuff come out of DC and Marvel after this.
Yes.
Because they're going to miss the boat.
Right.
And that's, for me, it's one of those things. I've always been of the opinion that we have everything we need in our own community. Yeah. Whether it's superhero stuff, whether it's fantasy, we have it all. It's all right here. And so it's no need to kind of go outside. There's no need to kind of search or whatever. You don't have to look for it. And let's be honest, this is the biggest telephone book. This is the biggest telephone book any creator could ever hope for to be in. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, you got all of these characters, you got all of these. Listen, that's probably going to be a page or two in the book. It's going to have everybody's email, phone number, and everything. Because it's an amazing thing.
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing. I'm very, very happy and proud of our community. And salute to you, my brother, for doing this for 15 years. Because I know that it has not been easy, but I salute your consistency. I was telling some kids at my church yesterday that the genius of consistency is so underrated. You can just keep doing what you're doing and don't miss a beat or whatever. You'll get so much just out of that. It won't even really be hard just because you've put yourself in a position to keep your momentum. And so that's the thing that I think that the Black comic book community at large is desperate need of. Consistency. Consistency. If we get that, Marvel, DC, who? I'm telling you. And so I just really am grateful. When Tony said what he said tonight, I was kind of like, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna get too happy. I can't, because I'll get beside myself. Maybe I will, I'll have a delayed reaction later. But for now,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. But for now, I'm just really saluting these people, man, because these are my peoples, y'all.
Yay.
You know what I'm saying? For real, these are my people. This is like everybody just came to a cookout and decided to do something dope.
Yeah.
And I happen to be there, you know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, there's nothing amazing about me, but I make a point to surround myself with amazing people. And so I'm really stoked, you know what I'm saying?
That's a talent in itself, just as far as recognizing good souls, recognizing good folks to surround yourself with, not everybody can, see that, navigate that and receive it, so that's a beautiful thing, Let
me ask you something, Sebastian. You've been doing this a long time, right? And if you've met a lot of people doing this kind of stuff, did you ever think you would see something like this?
No, definitely not. I never thought the Epiphany Engine, like as far as that many folks, no. No, because, I mean, look, you can kind of, the reality of what you're saying is ego, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I've been around for a minute now, when I came out, no, I like girls. No, when I came out with Stranger Comics, I was, sorry, it's just too easy. It's low hanging fruit. When I came out with Stranger Comics, there was a lot of rumblings of like, who the fuck is this guy? And there were some folks that were really like, oh my God, this guy seems really nice. And oh, this comic seems great. I didn't know. I was just wanting to tell good stories. I didn't have an agenda. I didn't was like, oh, I'm going to do this, Of course, working with Amandla, originally we were going to write a novel together of Niobe, and we both realized we definitely didn't have the time to write a 500-page novel, so it became a comic book. And then the comic book made history, being the first of its kind, with a Black female author, artist, and hero. It's nationally distributed. But during that time, and then after that, there were a lot. The big two suddenly were trying to swoop in and poach. There was a lot of independent rumblings. I heard people come up to me and go, so and so says this about you. I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know if I care either. It's sad. And then now and again, I would see not very nice comments online, but I often found the positive outweighed the griping and the he must have this, and he must be rich, and he must have this, and he must have investment. Like, no, I put this shit on my credit card and hope for the best. I don't want to tell you, So I think that mentality of used to the old mentality, which maybe is kind of what you're saying, Rich, as far as in the old days, you felt like Marvel and DC was almost like the white man's table, and here are the scraps, and maybe we can get one of us in there to have one job. Oh, that one person took that one job. Now I can't take that one job. So now there's a bit of dissension amongst the independents. Oh, I'm doing a fantasy comic. Wait, he's doing a fantasy comic. Oh, he's got that actress. What about, I've been around, and it's this rather than, for me, I'm always like the James Brown mentality where it's like, I got mine, don't worry about his, And I always think like this: if I have $100 and my enemy has $1,000 or $1, I still have $100.
Yes, sir.
So what difference does it make? If I have $100, but my friend has $1,000 or $1, I would want my friend to have $1,000. I want my friend or a good person to ascend. I still have $100, so why am I not wishing the best for someone I love? And if they're deep, maybe rising tides, and if I have and so on. And I think what the folks have done with Epiphany is allowed the opportunity to, kind of what you're saying, Rich, is to kind of say, then there doesn't need, we've essentially created our own table, essentially, and we're going directly to the consumer through Kickstarter, so there's no middleman needed. I'm the person who's my creation, and I can give it straight to you, to the consumer. And now the consumer, a lot of times there's this rub, right, which I'm sure you guys talk about, where, and without trying to sound political and so on, but generally the white right wing, the white dollar will be of a certain age, will be very like, oh, my disposable income will go to support my narrative or what I want to support. Hear me roar. I like that. Whereas it's been, that's been, I think, a knock on some of the indie Black community, where there's not enough support. Like, yeah, I'll do a post and I'll share and I'll leave a comment, and I can't afford it right now. And a lot of that's true and all of that's fine. But the support, the beautiful thing about Epiphany is that it shows that that's false, and it shows that this moment is to be celebrated, And I don't know if that's naturally been the progression, and maybe that just happens to have been the progression of this forced reality of like, hey, we need to come together and let's rally behind someone's vision, and that's a beautiful thing, right? Which I think when you're a bunch of kings of your own fiefdom or queens and so on of your own fiefdoms, you tend to feel like, well, I need to be the head person to see my vision. This is how I would do it. For me, I've always been hey, when it's my vision, is my fucking vision.
Right.
But if it's someone else's, tell me what to do. Tell me where, put me in, coach. You know, it's your vision.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see it. I'm with you. Just give me the ball. I'm there. Or what do you need me to do? You know, sweep the floors, do this. You know, that's a great vision. Then I can be behind it. So I think that's, you know, if I'm rambling, it's just I feel like
I got you.
It's been the evolution is now. Hey, this is proof that the community supports its own in a beautiful way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and shout out to the community for for coming through as well, right? So
massively. Yeah, without people I mean, it's really the reality of comics is. I had a meeting earlier today and with a guy, head of the studio, and he's like, "How do you make money selling comics? The cost of the printing, the cost of an artist, the cost of a letter, a production designer, an editor, shipping. How do you make money creating comic books?" And that's why a lot of indies, you know, have their day jobs, and this is their passion to make this so we can get to this place, like you're saying, Rich, of ascending into next phases and levels. Because costs of comics is absurd, because the $4 comic hasn't caught up with the cost of the increase in paper, in storage fees.
Right.
Like back in the days, a pallet would be $18 in a pallet for me to store a pallet full of books in a warehouse. Right after COVID hit, one of the warehouses I work with jumped to $40 a pallet.
Oh, that's
So
such a huge jump.
If you think if I've got 20 pallets or 30 or 40 pallets of stock, you're going, oh my God, that's thousands of dollars more per month. And then where do I sell? Comic shows, great. Comic booths, the cost of those go up.
Went up significantly.
Significantly. Yeah. The cost of admission to get in, the cost of a table, the cost of a booth, the cost of accommodation in the area where the comic conventions are at. So, but you can't charge. How do you? Some people are like, I'm not spending more than $4. You know, like, well, then I can't survive and I can't put out the comic. So there's an education process of,
absolutely,
in order for us to put out the content, we need to be supported by folks who want to read what they want to see, you know.
Well, you know, it's interesting that part of the art that we consume and whatnot, like I say, I believe we have everything that we need in the space to do those things. I mean, we're going to a Comic-Con in next month.
Okay, which one are you going to?
It's called Atlanta Comic-Con. It'll be in Norfolk, Virginia.
I've heard about it. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. And so what I'm getting at is that this is a con that's put on by a couple of brothers. And if we could ever get the community to circulate the dollars, you know, the big cons are the big cons or whatever. But if we can get people to just circulate their monies and let's just, you know, full disclosure, Black dollar circulates in the Black community about 6 hours, if that. And when it really needs to circulate like 3-4 months, but that's not the case. But at some point, when we talk about the creators and the business of the business, we got to be able to create opportunities, and we got to be able to create spaces where, you know, when we go places or whatever, I'm putting my brother to work. I'm putting my sister to work.
Sure.
You know, they're spending money with me. I'm spending money with them, and you know, everybody wins like that. But it's about us thinking about our community. I think that sometimes the Black comic book community is fractured because We got pockets over here. We got pockets over there. You know, one of the reasons why we created Black Comic Lords was to be able to create a community of people who would just be able to talk about something, the same things. So now that we're talking to each other, right?
Yeah.
Right. We can start spending some money with each other.
That's right.
You know, and so again, it's like, okay, I don't need to, you know, go outside or go to Barnes and Noble for the newest fantasy novel.
Right.
I know Sebastian. I know Stranger Comics.
Right.
That's what you want. I got that for you.
Right.
I can spend my money there. I know this creator who does superhero comics. I know this creator that does horror comics. I know this creator that does this. I know these different artists. You want to put some art in your home. Well, I know a guy that does commissions. These are the kind of things, the conversations that we gotta have with each other, so we can have that kind of opportunity. Because again, the money's there.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of directing the money to the right places.
Right.
Why am I spending X amount of dollars over here when I know if I spend my money with you, you're going to spend some of that money with some other some brothers and sisters.
100%.
That kind of thing, and the money rotates. That's the next conversation we got to have after all of this is said and done. I'm glad that we got it funded, but we got to have that conversation, because if we had that conversation, that means you're in a better position. We're in a better position. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wins. So that's just my thoughts on that.
No, I love that. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I did. I didn't manage to get to BlurredCon this year. I did BlurredCon last year, and it was phenomenal. The community was incredible. Folks supported. It was an amazing experience. I did the inaugural Black Comics event in San Francisco with John Jennings. When you have those events, I just connected with John today, funny enough. They're not only grounding, but they're reassuring. You feel like you're among family, and you feel it's comforting. And there's a lot of love. And I think what's beautiful about those events is you're away from, people being online and at times being a bit touchy or a bit this, or they've had a hard day at work and they express and think all those, that shit is just out the door. You're in person, and the community feels tangible. I think I'm all for that. One thing I forgot to mention, and I believe I brought this up when you guys were being wonderfully supportive for our last Kickstarter, is the new Naibishi tribe, the one that we did for the last kick, which we have a minor advance copies for San Diego, the exclusives. We should do the Black Comic Lords exclusive for Niobe She Tribe, and do that, when we drop it in retail stores, which I believe the drop will be in November. And I'll find out when the pre-orders are, because maybe that's a way also I can make a bit of dough, but I can also shove a bunch of dough towards the Black Comic Lords, and you guys are servicing an exclusive to your community, who will feel great about supporting you, and it raises more interest for all of us. So if you're down for that, then let's do a Black Comic Lords exclusive for She-Tribe.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. I will harass Paul. He's gonna be on the boat somewhere, but I'm sure we'll call him.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. I mean, we there's opportunities and the being able to maximize the opportunities that are made available through relationships and that kind of thing. I love comics.
Yeah.
I love comics and I love all this stuff, but I love the people a whole lot.
Reach out to me too, and have whoever's, essentially handling the back end of the Kickstarter, because it's a behemoth. Kickstarters are so difficult, and you're usually not accounting so much for shipping and cost of cardboard. That's where so many independent Kickstarters trip up, is the excitement for the dollar. I'll give you an example. So on our last Kickstarter, we just crested 100K, but I think we had about 6,000 or 7,000 people cancel their pledges during the campaign.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, up and
7,000
down,
people or dollars?
It's not dollars. Oh my God. Yeah, dollars. Yes. Dollars. Indeed. That would be amazing. And then after the campaign finished, you're like, oh, I made 100 grand. Oh my God, it's amazing. Kickstarter takes out their fee, which I think is like close to 10%. But then in dropped pledges, cards that didn't go through, there was about 750 backers. And in the first week, there were 69, well, no, there were a bit more, about 80 or so dropped pledges. Wow. So I was going, oh my goodness. And out of that 80 or so, that you're talking about $15,000. So your 100 grand is more like, so I had to chase up a lot of folks, and some folks are like, hey, Seb, I was just so excited in the moment. I just can't swing it now. I'm like, I get it, and some folks are like, oh, thank you. My card didn't go through and so on. And we managed to get that number maybe down to 25, but it's still.
That's another operation you have to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. And then you send the surveys out. 50% of the surveys hit people's spam folders. Then you get messages. You never sent my survey.
Mine did. It went into junk pile. I had to look for it because I was messaging. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I had to dig for it.
It's crazy. It's so incredibly difficult. So if any of the folks at Epiphany have any, like, oh, hey, where do you get your bulk peanuts or your bulk cardboard, or what shipping service do you use? Have them hit me up and I'll give them the best, our best advice possible, because those pennies, boy, they add up.
And quickly too.
Yeah, I often wonder if there's even more collaboration that could happen, just to make I keep on referring to the above the water, which is what we see, and then the below the water, which is what we as consumers don't see. What could be done to make that below the water stuff easier, shared load, scale, economies of scale, especially among independent Black companies, right? So they can focus on what they want to do the most, as opposed.
You know what's interesting? I think that the digital aspect of the art has to almost take, not 100%, but I love books. I love physical books in my hand. But the digital aspect of what we do, I think at some point we have to fully embrace, because that eliminates all that shipping cost. That eliminates, and you have to almost make it a premium or a priority almost to not necessarily push it. The only reason why I'm in the books the way I am, because I'm just an old fart. And I just like holding a book in my hand. I just do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, think about it like this here, Angel. Like this, for example, it's just a tablet, right? And with a tablet, now in my physical house, I have probably close to 1,000 books. Okay. However, on this here, I could literally put 10,000 books in this little device. And that's the technology, driving that, right? But a lot of creators could really do a lot of good if they didn't have to deal with that part of that piece of the puzzle, or the supply chain part.
Right.
Of it. Because it is what it is. And like I say, I'm an old dude. I love books. I like books. I like the feel of books. I like the smell of books. I that's just me. But these kids that coming up behind us, whatever, they don't have that attachment to books like that. So in theory, they could literally, be a draw for a lot of collectors. And I know that funny thing is we always talk about the importance of buying these books and having these in your collections and that kind of thing. But I just think that, if Sebastian didn't have to worry about, shipping costs and that kind of thing, how much money he could save just because,
It's interesting. Like in the beginning of Stranger Comics, we really talked about a webtoons model. I couldn't get any investors to back the idea of going, hey, I just want to give all of my comics away for free digitally and then just have a few exclusive bound books. So I can do collector physical free reads. So therefore I'm just building my readership into, rather than the tens or the hundreds, I'm building into the tens of thousands. And then if it ever becomes a TV show, a studio will go, how many units have you sold? I go, just a few, but 10 million people have read it. And they go, oh, well, my goodness, you've already So I think it's the sustainability of going, everything online feels free. So a consumer is not used to spending for a comic book money digitally, unless it's really small amounts of money. And so you've got to create a freemium model where you go, hey, I can do this, but I'll also throw in this. So it's a hard things like that you want to have physical, like that's why Funko Pops or statuette, maquette or something. That feels like, I can play with it. It's tangible. I wouldn't necessarily care about that digitally until someone does that on holograms, and someone does that the next phase, and so on. So I'm with you. It's just the getting enough people that are used to digital on a subscription or free, pay for download, unless we're partnering up with a company called Global Comics, who is a digital distributor. And so we're going to do a lot of work to just gain more readers and get more access to more folks just consuming our material. And, for folks that still love the beautiful hardcovers or the rare collectors, or like Derek, the CGCs, we've got some CGCs. Check this one out. We got this one just sold here.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
Jay Lee, Marvin Wynn with the
look at that. Yeah, that's real nice.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, Derek, if ever you want any of your Navy stuff CGC, let me know. Or if you want to ever see our CGCs, let me know. I just sold a grip to this older couple who spent an absolute fortune last year at San Diego Comic-Con, more than anyone's ever spent. And so they couldn't make it this year. They're going on their 25th wedding, renewing their vows. So I messaged them and said, hey, I know you're not making it. Do you want to send them a few different comics? They're like, yeah, I'll take this, this, this. I'm like, thank you. But that's the beautiful thing when you have those relationships and you can just say, yeah. And they send me photos of when 25 years ago, like it's that real beautiful relationships with those folks. But if you ever want a CGC or we want to see our stuff.
Let me ask you, speaking of books and that kind of thing, and you've got a lot of material. Are there plans to do a Niobe omnibus or a Tales of Asunder omnibus?
Yeah, we talked about it. The stuff that's kind of in the works are finishing the Tales of Asunder Volume 2. One of the volumes is going to be with, I might have mentioned this before, hasn't been officially announced, but hey, here we are. It's, if you saw American Gods. Yeah, there you go. You saw American Gods, the TV show. You remember Yeti Debadaki, who plays Bilquis, the naughty one. So she and I are writing the new Dura comic together, Tales Under Dura, and so that'll be in the Volume 2. It's amazing. It really increases the lore. It's beautiful. Another book called Confessions of a Demon. So yeah, we're going to build out more and more, and then probably do these giant omnibuses of mega collections. Because we're also finishing Niobe and Dura that collection I was just showing you. And here is one of the Dura ones right here, Dura issue 2.
Okay.
This is by Tahani Far. This is the creator of the World of Asunder. I tell you what, if anybody wants an issue 2 Kickstarter or last year's New York Comic Con exclusive with the gold, I'll do this for $20 and I'll throw in a nice rare issue 1 for free. And I wrote this with Prentice Penny, the showrunner of the TV show Insecure, who we played with HBO. So if you want to get the Nabindura issue 2, it's actually the beginning of that whole comic showed you how this character created the World of Asunder. And it's by Jamaican artist Sheldon Mitchell. I'll give you kind of a little peek as to what the interiors look like. Here you go.
Oh, look at that. Purples and blues and everything.
Very, very nice. Yep. And that's why you can't go away from books.
No, the visuals are everything.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that hits different when it's in a book. And, you know, the screen, that's beautiful. But that, yeah.
So we're literally working on the last issue of this series, Naibi and Dura, and it's such a beautiful.
That's nice. Yep.
Yes. So that collection's being finished, and folks who still, you know, who basically follow all of World of Asunder stuff, you'll see Niobe unlike you've ever seen it before. It gets we've got like a kaiju type fight going on in that last issue. We're like starts the Untamed, slow burn, and then it explodes into, you know, a really kind of the big fantasy stuff. So yeah, we plan on doing omnibuses. It's just managing, and then also, Rich, we're going to do a Art of Niobe and Asunder book. So for folks that
would be nice.
Sebastian, we don't care about your writing. We just want to see pictures.
You're right. Yes, a good picture book. That's everything.
No. Don't listen. The art in Stranger Comics is amazing.
It's amazing.
I cannot front on that. But no, don't get it twisted. The writing in these books is very, very good. I think people don't. That you can't listen. I'm not mad if you want to buy a picture book, but the writing. See, to me, and it's just me, and you know, you write with a poetic flair. You know, you have some, like, when if I close my eyes and I'm reading your stuff. If I thought it was a superhero comic, I think I would be reading something like Swamp Thing or something. Very introspective, very reflective, that kind of thing. And that's what art is supposed to be. And so I have no problem with nobody just wanting to see colors and stuff. But man, don't stop writing. We need the word. We need the word. Those of us that love word and reading in general, we need that part of Stranger Comics as well. So
I tell you what, to that note, we've done something we've never done before in the Naibi She Tribe, which is coming to you guys to back the Kickstarter. This is the San Diego Comic Con exclusive. By the way, we only have 50 copies of this. If anybody wants this, it's $40. We will sell out of this without question at San Diego. So if you want Naibi She Tribe San Diego Comic Con exclusive, they're $40. But for the first time ever, guys, you will see we have this is a song that I wrote with the creator of Brown Sugar Fairies.
Okay.
And check this out. You will be able to listen to the song.
Wow. Oh man, that's everything.
And we have all the lyrics at the very back part of the book, which also honors my mum who passed. And so you'll be able to scan that and the lyrics themselves are
Oh.
peppered in key places around this beautiful book. Yeah. So thank you.
That's facts.
I'll read you one glimpse from this book, Nabisheer's life. Dreams are a lifetime of handmade wishes, which we do not dare to hope for when we're awake. But when we have faith, sometimes the angels come with us. So yeah, this is basically the start of Nabishe tribe. It says, where do our dreams go? Are they sent to the sky on a comet, glittering in sea glass and gold, impossibility and wonder, to be caught in a web of stardust spun by angels, a feather for their wing? And this is kind of where we placed that a feather for their wing, as Niobe's mother is helping Niobe braid the feather into Niobe's hair.
Yep, that's dope.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. So that's that sweet spot. See, one thing about, I love a comic book or a piece of art that I'm able to, like, if I read something like that, then I'm looking at the pages or whatever, because you can finish a comic book in 5 minutes these days. But when you got something that's real art, you can sit there and hold that book for hours, just looking at it and just thinking about what the person is saying or whatever. That's why Stranger Comics is. That's why y'all dope, bro.
Thank you.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is yes, that's Kanan White. Yes, very rarely does he do full interiors. He does so many covers. But there you go. Look at that. So I wanted to create an homage to the original Untamed book, when the stranger walks across the desert in the Untamed, for Niobe to do the same, and to really homage those spaghetti westerns, those Japanese kind of Kurosawa movies, and play with the dialogue, which is, again, like you said, Rich, introspective. Niobe says, life's journey is not one path, pre-planned or predicted. Sometimes you must travel into the wild to find your way home. Lost behind a wall of hurt is when I cannot sleep, nor do I want to. I built that wall. For not all dreams are swaddled in feathers, born in heaven, where not all angels stayed. Some are wrought in shadow and iron, where bitter lies taste sweeter than truth, to which I sip when wrath's snake coils until my heart is pit. A doubter of dreams, a coward of destiny. Perhaps this is what my father wants, to be like him, so he can soothe my fear and hate, to wear his briar cloak, ever bleeding, where only he can pluck the thorns. But I am Galimren also. I was born in the root of the sun.
Yes. That's what I'm talking. You do you have you taught writing classes at colleges?
Sometimes I get, it's weird, you know, sometimes I get people that will come to my panels. I have a panel called How to Take Your Idea from Concept to Creation. They'll come to the panels and they'll go, can I hire at my school? I did that in Washington. Oh, I did that at FAMU.
Okay.
Keep it lit, yes.
So yeah, it's funny. Now and again, I get a professor reaching out and say, hey, can you come and teach? I haven't actively pursued it, but now and again, I'll have a university go, hey, I heard your panel and can you come and teach? I did it at a video game university in Sweden for 2 weeks. It's but yeah, it's actually something I think I enjoy the most, is teaching and folks how to write and how to create, how to help them on their way.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, you know, the reason why I brought that up is because, you know, I think that the written word today, I won't say that it's a lost art, but we don't really have the same writers we used to have, if that makes any sense. I tell people, you know, if you are someone who loves art or whatever, you can look at somebody's art and tell that that's somebody's. if you read somebody's words, you ought to be able to tell who that is. It's like I tell people, I say,
completely
you know, when yeah, because when it's like, and I always bring up Toni Morrison. You cannot just mistake Toni Morrison for anything else. If you read a Toni Morrison novel, it might have hurt your head,
Yeah,
but she made you think.
Yeah.
She made you think. And so it's one of those things where I just think that sometimes literature is just not championed like it used to be.
I agree.
And so that's why I asked that question, because I'm like, man, there was a time when, you know, you could read a book or whatever, right? And you read the story, but yeah, tell me a story, but kind of, you know, give me some pictures, give me something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Let me find something while I'm on my way somewhere.
Right.
You know, that
Let
kind
me
of
go back
thing.
and reread it and find it's more seeds to plant. You know, I love that, and I think it's the you know, the immediacy, the lack of attention and immediacy of needing, like, oh, I'm on my phone while I'm watching TV, while I'm figuring out what filter to put. You know, folks, they don't have the attention span. So with my books, it's very much like I'll either get people go, I didn't get it, and I'm like, did you take your time just to read it? Because if you do, you'll probably get it. Oh, I wanted to read just want to read the first 10 minutes real quick. I'm like, that's not going to work. So it's either people have that, or they fall in love with it. I rarely get someone middle ground with the material. It's always they either absolutely obsessed or it's just not for them, you know. They need the spoon-fed, you know. Even when we were at HBO, it was a big topic, which was, I'm a big slow burn guy. I'm like 1970s storytelling. I like that you can be patient and, you know, you peel back the layers and then you're like, oh my God, I'm on the journey and I'm entrenched now and I am this character. But nowadays it's very important for folks to have plot up front. Like, I've got to lay out basically what's going to happen before I lose your attention. And then I can hopefully then get you invested in the character. Whereas back in the days, it was the other way around. You would have, oh, I'm in love with this character, and then let me discover the plot. And what's 3 Days of a Condor to Star Wars? You know, you've got like, what's happening? Oh my, you know, you're in. So for me, what I've had to do is kind of find little tricks, right? So this is something I do teach. Let's say you take Niobe Shear's life, for example. So in Niobe Shear's life, the very first page, right? So here we go. You got the very first page here. And the first line, right up there, it says, what haunts you? So I'm going to try and grab someone with the art for sure, but also with the first piece of dialogue. I'm saying to the reader, the first line they read is, what haunts you? So now the reader's going like, what haunts me? You know, and then, is it the shadow you cannot run from or the memory you cannot escape? So blindly you follow the light beyond reach, right? Who do you run to when no one needs you? Who do you turn to when no one cares? So I'm basically saying this to the reader from the position of the goddess, the God basically talking to you, like, what haunts you? With the first line, what haunts you? So now the reader is putting themselves in Niobe's shoes. So they're automatically going, I am Niobe, I'm connected with her, because what's been asked of her is what's being asked of me. So I've had to, you know, I enjoy those moral dilemmas and introspections, but also how can I not go plot heavy, but how can I instinctively kind of connect with you on a soulful level with the character, and then hopefully you'll be patient enough to figure out the plot as we tick along, you know.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, you know, it's like, okay, I'm going to put you in the story whether you want to or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So
and Ben, yeah, I completely agree. It is interesting. You know, you see artists got wonderful Easter eggs. You've got, you know, these story elements within the art. And folks, to Ben's note, and to what you were saying earlier, Rich, is just people just go, turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. They need immediate gratification, and they don't know how to chew their food. They're too busy,
That's
gobbling down,
accurate
swallowing,
right there.
you know?
That
Yeah.
is so accurate.
Learn how to savor, you know. Put on some Coltrane, relax, enjoy.
Yes.
You know, you'll be good.
Yes, indeed. So, tomorrow night you are cranking it up for a new project.
Yeah, tomorrow night it's back on. I'll be back on. I might do the YouTubes. I'm not as good as you guys at remembering, but I might be back on YouTube as well as trying to multi-stream with Instagram. But it goes on, and you're more than welcome to jump in if you want to jump in as well. It's 6 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock, 7. Geez, I can't do math. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. Every Thursday on Instagram and sometimes also on our YouTube channel as well, Stranger Comics. But yeah, every Thursday, and this tomorrow night. I do other things too every week, and you guys are more than welcome to grab one here too if you want. The Stranger Comics famous mystery box with a remark by me, one of a kind remark drawn. You can put it on your wall next to Kevin Helfie, Derek. You know. Should sit right there next to Jason Shaw Alexander's artwork, you know. And in this mystery box of doom, we give one metal comic worth $100 and about $100 worth of comics as well for $50. Random stuff.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants a mystery box, we do 2 tomorrow. I could do 2 tonight, $50. Trust me, you'll go, oh my goodness, it was well worth it. Even for Sebastian's original art alone. I'm bringing you your flowers. Look at that. You know, just a slightly younger version of me.
Okay, now you did roll the dice on a giveaway tonight.
I did indeed. Yes, I did. So if you guys are still here, for folks that have left, they're just shit out of luck, you know. So folks that are still in the chat, pick your number from 1 to 100, please, in the chat. Folks, write down your number 1 to 100 for the dice. I roll these percentile D&D dice. It's 1 to 100. Pick a number from 1 to 100. Then the winner tonight is going to win this rare comic. We will ship this to you for free. So we got 76 from Vagrant, 36 from Marijuana Williams, Angel with 4.
And there were several people earlier in the show too. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably just put an ending line on here just before you pick the number. So and then is this gonna go to the person that gets closest, or do they have to be spot on?
No, we're all night. Yeah, person who gets closest.
Okay.
And then there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I was teasing.
That's fine.
So yeah, person that gets closest, and if we have a split tie, I'll do 2 of these because, you know, I'm a gentleman. You know, I'll make sure two folks get it. So all good.
Okay.
So yeah, and if you want, Derek, you're nicer than me. If you want to basically scroll through and see if there's other numbers as well, I'll put it in the chat. What that number is in a second. And then also, folks, what I can do for you as well, if anybody wants to get the first Untamed graphic novel, these are normally $60. I will do this for you for $30. So if you want to get into the world of Asunder, where you first meet Niobe and you want to get the whole thing, I'll do this for half price, guys. This is painted by the artist Peter Bergting, who does Lord of the Rings in Sweden. The artwork is pretty phenomenal, and it'll get you into the world of Asunder. I'll do this hardcover or Dusu or Niobe for $30 instead of $60. And you can get into the world of Asunder. That'll be the last kind of Black Comic Laws deal tonight.
All right. Okay, we've collected a fair bit of numbers here, so
All right.
I'll just
I
have
have
to quickly do the math and run through all the
Okay,
numbers.
I'm gonna. Shall I message you?
Yeah, hold on a
No,
second. I'll do that. Okay, I'm
in
gonna
the
put the
private
ending
chat?
line in.
Okay.
So anything that comes in after this line, then I'm gonna hit the button on in about 3 seconds. It's too late. So 3, 2, 1. All right.
End in line.
Okay.
And then
There we go.
All right. So I'm popping this into the private chat, the number, Derek, and then you can.
Uh-oh. I think I know who won. Okay. I'll just type the number in the chat here. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
In the live chat? Okay. So the number is coming through. There we go. It is
There it is.
82.
82.
82. So let's see. We'll start from the top. So I know we had Richard with 78. So he was 4 off. H&H Comics, somebody named Derek had 85, so three off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be happy to give it to the next closest person though, because
We'll just do. Well, I'll do two. I'll do two. I'll send you one, Derek, for having me on, and then we'll send.
You know what they
another
say when you playing dominoes, whoever got the pin always win.
And Vagrant with 76, so 9 off. And then let's see, Styles of Sirius at 77, so was 5 off. So I think let's see, so Styles. So what was your number, Rich? Was your number 78?
78.
Oh wow, okay. So
That's weird.
Rich was 4 off.
It's like the price is right.
Yeah,
76,
and the closest person in the chat,
Yeah.
I think, was 77. You know, not counting me and Rich. I think I caught that correctly.
Serious.
Yeah,
Yeah, 77.
Yeah. So I'm Seb, I'm happy to give up my copy to Styles of Sirius. So I want someone.
I don't mind. I don't mind sending a couple more out. You guys are just gracious to have me on. So, do you want to message me? Yeah, Stars of Sirius. And Rich, you said you got 77?
78.
78? Yeah. Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Styles wants to fight me.
Come on, bro. Really?
It's too hot to be fighting over there right now.
So all I need is everyone's address. And I totally forgot to actually put down the Stranger Comics YouTube channel so folks can give us a follow like an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
We'll add that real quick. That's easy.
Put that in the chat. Put it in.
Good Lord. And then Star So Serious, what I need from you, fam, is if you could follow Stranger Comics on Instagram and send me a DM with your address. And Kevin Pitts wants the Dela and the 2 Tribe covers. You got it. Thank you, Kevin. So Kevin Pitts, if you want the 2 Tribes and the Dela, I actually believe I have, let me just have a quick look. I have 2 versions, I believe, of the Dela. One is in black and white, and one is in color. So if you want just the color, let me know, or the black and white, or you want both, that's fine too. This is also features young Dusu, young Waso, and young Unsil, and Dura's in it too. So all I need from you guys, Star So Serious and Kevin, is your email address and mailing address, because Kevin, basically what we do is we just send you the invoice and then we ship it out to you. And Kevin, let me know if you want them signed or clean. And Angel, do you want yours signed as well, or do you like yours clean for the biggie?
Oh, signed, please.
Signed, you got it. Signed for you, cool. And Kevin, yeah, let me know, Kevin, if you want signed or clean. And if you could follow us, guys, on Stranger Comics on Instagram and send me a DM, or email me stranger@strangercomics.com, because I don't have I'm not signed in. Am I? Maybe Sebastian? Let me see. Oh, I'm signed in Sebastian. That's weird. I don't know if this will pop up. This is my personal one, which I rarely use. So email us here, or sign. Kevin, you got it. Send email / both covers. You got it, Kevin. Thank you so much. Send email address on IG at Stranger Comics. Boom. There we go. So Kevin, I've got you down for both Delas and both Tribe for a whopping discount. Boom, 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 and both Dela. This pen is terrible. Okay, and just so you can see it again, if anybody wants to get any of these extras, you got the Tribes, so you got the Delas, you've got the TLC homage, you've got the DMX homage, you've got the Lauryn Hill homage, you've got the Erykah Badu live album homage. Thank you, Stars. I appreciate that. You got the Low End Theory Tribe, you got the Midnight Marauders Tribe, and you got the Biggie Smalls, and you got the Outcast homage right here too, which is great, by Kane and White. And then if anybody also wants to get the Sailor Moon homage, this is 20. You know what? I'll do this for 15 if you want the Sailor Moon homage by Ashley A. Woods, the original Niobe artist. And if anybody wants to get the Comic-Con Africa exclusive, it is $20. And the other things, just to kind of share with you again, if you guys want to spend a little bit more, I do have things like your shiny metal editions. You can kind of let me know, guys, if stuff that you've seen. The other thing I did bring to show you, if anybody wants to get the original Niobe Shears Life, John Thomas, you like the Outcast? Thank you so much, John. So tonight, guys, I'm doing hip hop homages for only $10. My Thursday Life crew would kill me if they knew. No, this is my intro to you guys. So I just need email addresses, mailing addresses. This is the first nationally distributed comic book with a Black female author, artist, and hero in the history of entertainment. When I wrote this with Amanda Stenberg, it's the 2015 printing. This is $30. So if you want a piece of history, $30. So yeah, sub over to Stranger Comics on YouTube. Definitely hit us up on the IGs as well. You'll see all sorts of fun stuff. You know what? You know what I could do tomorrow? If you guys want to jump on, we're doing a Stranger Comics documentary. There's a rough trailer that's been going on for about a year. It's funny because Phil is doing his comic documentary. There's a documentary on me and Stranger, and it's got a lot of amazing interviews and filmed in South Africa, filmed in all the cons. You know, the life and times of being on the grind, doing this thing.
I can't imagine that grind.
It's brutal. It's freaking brutal. It's brutal. We're back to driving trucks next week to San Diego, you know. Yeah. So John Thomas, all I need from you, bro, is just DM me on Instagram. And I will, once I'm off, I'll just send the invoices. And not those tonight, so I can let's see. I'm on my Instagrammies now. So Richard, I'm gonna follow you back. Styles, I followed you back. Yeah, John Styles, I've got you on Instagram. Just DM me your email address and mailing address. Same for you, Richard. And
Yes, I'm doing it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Anyone else that wants stuff, guys, email me at Stranger Comics. But what's easier is, and real quick, is if you're on Instagram, go to Stranger Comics, send me a DM there. Spock Jenkins, thank you. You like the Naibi Shears Life for 30. You got it. And then I've got Kevin wants everything signed. This pen just sucks. Let me get a better pen.
Aww.
Terrible. All right, so So sign for Angel, sign for Kevin. John, let me know if you want your signs. Spock Jenkins, thank you so much. The original Niobe Shears Life. G for 30. Let me know, Spock, too, if you like yours signed, if you like yours clean. So yeah, guys, just message me on IG. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, look at that. Marijuana just followed me. Thank you. I'll follow you back too. And yes, sign for John. You got it. Sign for John. So just sign for John, and then we'll wait to see if Spock wants his sign. And remember, guys, a really sweetheart deal, if you want to splurge a little bit, is this bundle deal is ridiculous. If you want all 6 beautiful trade paperbacks for $80 instead of $125. You know what I'll do tonight? I'll do something fun. I'll throw in the new Tales of Asunder 2. So that's $145 for only $80. There you go. So I'll do 7 trade paperbacks because I do have the new Tales of Asunder here too. Oh, it's right in front of me. And it looks like this.
Oh, your stuff is so incredible. Like, it's just magic.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. We work with amazing artists, but we really, like, there are reasons why, and you'll learn in the stories, why the blood of Niobe Hib has become astral and part of the galaxy. There's a reason why she has this blue feather. There's a reason for this symbol here. There's a reason for why she has dreadlocks and not a different hairstyle. There are reasons for all this stuff. And for you gamers in the back, we have stuff for your D&D, Pathfinder style role-playing games. So you can, if you're a nerd and you want to play in our world as well, you can. So, and if somebody just wants the original Untamed trade paperback, guys, to get you in, $20 for the trade tonight, and only $30 for a hardcover. So that's another crazy, crazy deal.
Very crazy, but it's good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're a big D&D
fan.
We
hooking us up.
Yeah, super. So I want to hook you guys up for sure. So let me see who I've got who's joined. So Kev612 just joined. Kevin, perfect. I'll follow you back. So I've got I've got your IG, Angel's info. I just need John's and I need Spock's info. If anybody wants to buy this, guys, if anybody wants to buy this that didn't win, I'll do this for a discount too. I will do this for $10 as well. How's that? So if you want the Tales of Asunder issue 1, Dead President's homage, normally $20. I'll do this for $10 as well. So Marwan, if you want this, bro, you can get this for $10 instead of $20. So anybody wants to get this, $10 instead of $20. Yeah, we do have Vega. We do have a Niobe official Pathfinder Paizo role-playing module. So yeah, for gamers, if you're a gamer, you will love this stuff for sure. You got a whole new campaign to if you play D&D, you can use this as your campaign background and have some fun. So anybody want that? $10 for that. I mean, look, just to give you an idea. There you go. More stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
By Kanan White right there.
Yeah.
We have a Hulk 181 homage featuring this character here. And we have a Conan the Barbarian homage as well lurking around. Oh, here we are. Check this out. You remember the old classic Conan the Barbarian movie?
Yep.
Yes.
So there's your
yeah.
same. There you go. There's your Frank Frazetta Conan the Barbarian homage right there. Just like the poster.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing
Thank you.
stuff.
You know what,
Thanks,
guys? We got to get on out of here, man. It's getting late.
Yeah, super late. Indeed.
I'm heavy.
And say we thank you for coming, Sebastian, and enhancing tonight's Wednesday wrap up. We appreciate you, and we'll definitely pop in on tomorrow night and see what you got going on. I'm interested in the documentary for sure.
Awesome. Billy Madness tomorrow for sure. Yeah, a lot of people be on IG. Most of my fans come on IG.
Yeah, and listen, for those of you who have never done a Sebastian live IG show, he gave a few things. He go crazy when it's just him.
Yes, he does.
He go crazy. He go ham. So if you like the deals you got tonight, I'm pretty sure you're gonna love him tomorrow night. So y'all stay tuned. Tune in tomorrow night. Check out his YouTube channel. Stranger Comics, and all his social media stuff. So. But yeah, we got to get on out of here. Derek.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Sebastian. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
we're going to go on and get out of here.
And thank you to the chat.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us on tonight.
Thank you.
We will see you this Sunday. If the creek don't rise, we'll see you Sunday night.
Real Talk with Rich. All right, take care.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Good night. Y'all be blessed.